What's going on, guys? Victoria Langford, your credit solutionist and the owner of mycreditcall.com. I'm also the lead debt elimination strategist over at mycreditcall.com, where we help you secure your financial future today. Hi, Lord Grimm. I see you there. Have to prove to the people that I'm live. Well, we're doing a midday live stream, you guys, and I have a question for you, especially my ladies. It's 2 o'clock here on the East Coast, and does your boss know where you are? I bet they do, but they probably don't know that you're watching this live stream where we are going to talk about how our millennial women are tired, frustrated. A lot of them are going broke right now, too. We were promised the dream of financial freedom, and, we were promised that we'd be kicking up our feet on the beach right now. Is it happening? Is it happening in your life? It's not happening in my life right now. I am working. It looks like I'm having fun, but I am absolutely at work. So in today's live stream, we're going to be talking about the issues that millennial women are facing right now, because as quiet as it's kept, or maybe not so much on TikTok, people are unhappy right now, the men and the women. But for the purposes of today, I am going to talk to my ladies. Hey, Mosman, what's up, dude? Thank you for coming back. Haven't seen you in a while. But listen, you guys, I was sitting in my place today doing a little bit of work. And as I was having my coffee this morning, it hit me. I'm tired. And I know that I'm tired just like a lot of you are tired. I went out on an outing last night. And while I had fun, I realized as I was walking up and down these hills, enjoying this wonderful light show, I'm effing tired. Okay? Mainly because I work a lot. If you know me, you know that I work quite a bit. And sometimes I stop and I think to myself, is it all worth it? Right? And the men can chime in too. This is for everybody. I don't, it is what it is. But I realize that, sometimes we get caught up in working so much that we lose sight of what we're doing it for. And I believe that that has happened with a lot of millennial women as it stands. And I was going over some articles this morning, and I just wanted to talk to y'all about it. So as you guys are coming in, like up the stream, do what you got to do. It's a manic Monday. It's a manic Monday. And we are going to have a conversation. So since we're talking about finances and whether or not it truly does bring happiness, I want to ask you guys, for the couple of you that are here in the chat, I mean, you're making money. You're an educated millennial. That's somebody between maybe the ages of what we'll say 27 to maybe like 45-ish. Are you happy with the money that you're making? Did you wake up this morning and commute to work feeling jovial and happy that you were going to see your coworkers, that, you were going to make your cup of coffee, that you were going to walk past your boss's office? Like, did that bring you joy this morning? Real question. I'm not leading into anything here, but if that wasn't the case today, I want you to pay attention to what we are going to be talking about. Hey there, Sam Reed. Good to see you, girlfriend. Early day stream, your girl is warming up, okay? I got a lot to do today, but I couldn't pass by today without talking to you guys. But this is a topic that I think is near and dear to a lot of people that I know, whether they talk about it or not. So Credit Solutionist is not just talking out of the side of her neck. There really is a debate out here about whether or not money brings happiness. Now, I, for one, do subscribe to the belief that money brings happiness. Now, I don't think that having a $5 bill in my hand is going to naturally make me happy. That's not what that is. But that $5, if it's put towards maybe getting a maid to clean my apartment so I don't have to, yes, that $5 is going to bring me happiness, because I'm going to have peace of mind, because I am now going to be conserving the energy that I would have been using to clean my apartment by paying someone else to do it. Okay, so that is how money generates happiness. Okay, so I want to be very clear on what Credit Solutionist is saying here. Let me clear out these comments and then I'm going to jump into my first article, because that one, the one I'm about to read, really got me to thinking. I know, Lord Grimm, it takes a minute, because right off the bat, we don't want to say that money brings happiness, but money does provide you sustenance. It provides you like an avenue to get more of your time back, right? To have more time to kick your feet up, maybe have a barbecue in the backyard of the house that you bought with that money, right? It provides you a place to raise your family, that is going to bring you happiness. So yes, money provides the things that will bring you happiness. Okay? But if we're working just to work, or for the sake of saying we're busy, or for the sake of sounding like we're doing something, that is not the kind of money that I want. I want the money that is going to literally purchase the things for me so I can set my life up to where I can chill. Okay, that's the kind of happiness we're looking for. Now, Lord Grimm says, I wake up with high hopes every day, but I won't lie. I feel like I live exactly. Yeah, you feel like you live at work, and it does get to a point where you feel a little. Listen, Lord, I am there with you, okay? Because as I was at this show last night, it was an amazing, beautiful light show. Matter of fact, I mean, it's on my Instagram. You guys probably don't follow me on Instagram, and that's okay, because I mind my business on Instagram, okay? So you ain't got to come follow me. But I'm going to show you, like, it was just beautiful. I had a great time last night, Like, this was this beautiful light show that I was at last night. But as I was there, in my mind, I was thinking, oh my God, I have to wake up tomorrow and I have to work. So I understand where you're coming from with that, Grim. It's like you wake up and you want to do it, but then it's like, holy hell, this is all I do. All I do is work. Right? Because even when I was having fun, I was thinking about working. So Samri says, growing up with a single mother in a rich neighborhood definitely showed me how much money meant. Thank you. Thank you. You'll never hear me on this channel say that money does not matter. In the grand scheme of things, no, it does not. I'm going to be real. If we take it to a base level, at the molecular level, we learned about atoms as kids. No, money does not matter. If I took $100 bill and shot it out to the moon, when that $100 bill landed on the moon, do you think anybody up there cares about that $100 bill? Is that $100 bill going to buy me oxygen on the moon? Is it going to buy me life insurance on the moon? Is it going to pay my rent on the moon? There isn't even rent on the moon. So what? So no, on a base level, money doesn't mean anything. It's just a construct. It's something we've created, and we've all agreed as a society that it does mean something here. It means something here. Am I being clear enough? I hope so. I hope so. Sorry, y'all. See, already phone going off, already got voicemails coming in. We can't get away. But this is the life that I chose, and maybe the life that you're in right now is not the one that maybe you chose it, but you're not liking the direction it's going in. So let's talk about how we can pivot and maybe go into another arena. Because again, last night really got me to thinking, you guys, like, I love what I do, but I'm also tired. Okay, that's it. Okay, so Mosman says, we are not socialized to use money at our younger ages to set up the environment for our goals, and we continue to choose the type of work that interests us versus feeling stuck in a random job with no plan. Well, shockingly enough, a lot of people are actually in jobs right now that they thought they were going to love when they were teenagers or maybe in their early 20s, and now they're not happy. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's dive into this article. So here we are talking about let me see here. Can money make you happy? And again, y'all, if you say no, that's okay. I'm not going to hold you, okay? But the numbers don't lie. So I'm going to read a little bit of information to you from Psychology Today, and I hope y'all can see it. So it says high earners are generally happier. What a notion. So over 10 years ago, a study based on Gallup poll on 1,000 people made a big headline in the news. It found that people with higher incomes report being happier, but only to an annual income of $75,000. Now, that's the equivalent of about $90,000 today. You guys will remember that we're always talking about the six-figure earner. Well, 90,000 is still five figures. However, it's closer to 100 than it is to 10,000. So I'll go ahead and give it that. Now, it says after this point, after the $90,000 mark, a high emotional well-being wasn't directly correlated to more money. This seemed to show that once a person's basic needs are comfortably met, more money isn't necessary for well-being. Now, let's go to 2021. Okay, so that's a few years later. It says This study was over 1 million participants, and they found that there's no such thing as an inflection point where money doesn't equal more happiness, at least not up to an annual salary of $500,000. It says in this study, participants' well being was measured in more detail. Instead of being asked to remember how well they felt in the past week, month, or year, they were asked how they felt right now in the moment. And based on this real time assessment, very high earners were feeling great. Y'all don't be coming in here lying to me. You know that more money is going to equal a little bit more happiness. Now, here's what I think. I think the reason that having more money equals more happiness, like I said, is because it creates an ease in your life. You ever been to dinner and as like when the bill comes, you're all thinking about how you're going to swipe the card, like how you're going to divvy up the meals and all that good stuff. I'll never forget a few years ago, and Lord Grimm, you probably know these people if you're still here. It was with my Bond family, right? So we go out to lunch. We went out to lunch every Sunday after church. And there was like a group of us. We were split 50-50. Half of us, whenever we went out to eat, we were like, yo, just split it evenly among everybody that's here. We don't care. And of course, Credit Solutionist was in that group. And I thought, it's easy. Let's just do it. Let's get out of here. But there's always that one or two people that are sitting there and they go, no, 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 no. I only got a pancake and the ice water. Victoria, I'm not paying for your sausage and your extra side of bacon. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what happened to being a cheerful giver? But I feel you. So I remember one day we were sitting there on a Sunday and this person was literally agonizing over how much they were supposed to pay. And some of us were like, dude, this is so stupid. Swipe your card so we can go on about our day. So I'm bringing you that story because, and this is tying into millennial women, okay? Because one of them was a woman, one was a guy. Now, the guy enjoyed it because he was sitting there doing his calculus thing. So he was just having fun because he was, showing his math skills, but he would have just paid. So it was really a woman that was harping on this. And it's really because the stress of not knowing how much money is in your account, that's the reason you don't have that freedom to just swipe your card and be done with it. See, being cheap, and I don't want to say being cheap, but being extremely mindful of your money to the point that you're miserly or you're always second guessing a purchase right before you make it, that wastes a lot of time. And you'll remember on this channel, time is a non-renewable resource. You will never get that back. So I would rather swipe the card and have 10 extra minutes in my day that I can get ahead of traffic out of this restaurant than to sit here and pull out my calculator and do all this extra math that you're not paying me to do. Okay? That is how I see it. Now, I know that that is an unpopular opinion, but just split it equally. So what do you guys think about that? I really think when you're being cheap, it wastes a lot of time. Have you ever tried to search for a plane ticket and go from site to site to site to try to catch a discount? Versus just saying to yourself, I want to get to this destination. I want to get there as comfortably as possible for a reasonable price. Just give me the ticket. I sat one day, and then I'm going to jump into these articles, y'all. I have a ton of stories about this. This is why I'm so into this conversation right now, particularly for the women. Because I remember one day I was trying to find flights to get back home to California. And I went to Expedia. I went to Kayak. I searched incognito on Google. I looked at Momondo. I looked at all these sites that I use if I travel internationally. And as I was sitting there, I remember agonizing in my head over a ticket that was $340 versus one that was $387. For what? For what? That is such a lack mindset. And when you guys talk to me and we do consultations and stuff, I'm trying to get you out of that lack mindset because you see how much time I wasted. I could have just paid for the $387 ticket and been done and got home to see my family. But instead, I wasted an hour going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to save $40. Do you guys know how much I charge per hour at mycreditcall.com? Why was I agonizing over $40. So this mindset that we have has been ingrained in us from an early age. There's no reason I have to sit there and agonize like that, and there's no reason that you should have to do that either. It's either a matter of adjusting our lifestyle, or we have to adjust our life force. You need to make more money. You may need to skill up and get a better job, right? But you also want to make sure, and I'm talking to my ladies here, in striving to jump from level to level in your career, that you are not sacrificing your health, your time, and your happiness. Because the question is, even though us millennial women are working so hard and we're showing the fruits of our labor, most people are only showing the fruits on social media to people that don't even care. And yes, I'm speaking to my women on this. So my question is, all these things that you're working for, are you even going to be well enough to enjoy them as the time passes? When the time comes to sit in your home on your back porch and sip your coffee, are you even going to be healthy enough to do that? Right? That's the real question. So let me see here. I got a lot to talk about, y'all, but I'm gonna try to be out before an hour because I know a lot of y'all are probably on your lunch break. And I'm not being funny, y'all. I'm being for real. Because I want to talk about how much money millennials make next, okay? But as far as that first article, I mean, material wealth is not associated with happiness. I get that. But here in America, yes, it is, okay? So it is what it is, okay? Okay, yeah. So I don't know if you, I guess we probably talked about it at some point on the live stream, Lord Grimm, but that was a funny day. And oh my God, I'm like, dude, I did not know that y'all were that cheap. What happened to believing in God that he was going to get you the money? Like, you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? Now, why was the idea that money doesn't bring happiness preached to the public? Well, I'm not really sure about why that was. Because really, if you think about it, if money doesn't bring happiness, then in my opinion, it's promoting poverty. It really is promoting poverty. Because have you noticed that everybody that tells you that money doesn't equal happiness has a crap load of money? They do. Like Jim Carrey is like one of the most famous people where there's a meme or a quote going around with his picture, and this quote that he said about he wishes everybody was a millionaire so they could feel what it's like and see that it doesn't change anything. Yeah, right, Jim Carrey. Okay? Yeah, right. I hear you, but I'm not listening. I'm not listening because he's on some BS. It's always the super rich that say that, or it's the super poor and impoverished that say it. Now, we know why the impoverished person says it, because they have to believe that. They don't have another choice but to believe it. Now, the rich person has a reason to say it, because if you're working for me, let's say I'm an owner of a multi-million-dollar corporation, which I'm going to talk about that a little later. I'm an owner of a multi-million-dollar corporation. It is advantageous for me to tell my workers we are a family. It's not about the money, it's about the relationships. You guys keep America going. It's my job to say those things to you because I have to keep you engaged so you can continue to produce the product that makes me money. Okay. Now, the reason that you believe your boss or the CEO that says it's a family and that money doesn't mean anything around here, guys. Yeah. So when they give you the 1.5% raise, you don't say anything. You don't question it. That's why they say it to you. Right? I got to keep you docile just long enough. And like the stream, guys, and share it with somebody, but that's why. And I'm sure you already knew that, Samri. I'm sure you already knew that. Okay, Mosman says, listen. Okay, Mosman, that's what I'm talking about. I'll even tell y'all one better. I went out on a date with a guy last year, and I hope he's watching. Bro, you're a bum. You're a loser. I gotta say it. Now, I'm not gonna say your name, but this dude was a loser. And it took me a minute to catch on because a lot of people are very good at showing a representative. But I'll never forget, it was about this time last year. We went out to dinner. And I remember this person put so much pressure on me to like, oh, my friends are gonna meet you, like, oh my God, like, oh, da, da, da. Like he made it kind of seem like I had to show something, not realizing I make the most money out of everybody that was sitting at that table, with maybe the exception of two people that worked in very high tech positions. I made more money than the guy I was dating. And I'm looking at him like, sir, okay, I'm in the inverse now. This is why they say the dating pool is full of pee. Let me continue. So as we're sitting there, when the check comes, it was a group just like that where everybody was like, "Oh, let me just pay for what I ate." And I'm like, "Oh my God, y'all, seriously? Is it that? Come on. Oh my God." So I kept it in. And then I watch him because he was going to pay for our dinner. So he starts looking at his phone, doing all this stuff. And I'm looking at him like, "What the hell are you doing? What is this man doing? Why are you looking at your phone? Just pay." Let me take this off the screen. This man was logging into his bank account situation, and he was borrowing from, like, I guess the bank has something set up where you could borrow from the bank really quick if you were in a pinch. He had to borrow the money to transfer into his checking account to pay for our date. After that, I was like, okay, I understand. Like, I get it. I help people get out of debt all the time. It's not a problem. But these are the stressful situations that literally are the reason that a lot of millennial women are just fed up. Because my thing was this: if we were going to go Dutch, just say we're going to go Dutch. But to watch him do that and then sit there like, okay, bro, do you just need me to pay for my dinner? Like, this is embarrassing now. Like, I know these are your friends, but I'm embarrassed here to be sitting here watching you do this. And you put pressure on me like I had to show up and show out. Sir, mistaken. But anyway, yes, Mosman, that is what happens. There's a collective sigh of relief. Now, granted, that was a big bill. It had to be like maybe 700 possibly. It was a big bill because it was a lot of people and it was a nice place. And I understand, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody with that story, but it is a frustration that a lot of us have in dating, because it's like, yo, if you can't afford to date, don't date. It's fine. It's okay. But it is nice sometimes to treat your friends. And that's a pressure that we have as millennials too, because sometimes I do want to take people out and treat the whole group. But if you say it at the beginning, people start ordering all kind of crazy stuff. I don't know. You don't ever eat lobster, but you want to eat it today. Now that Credit Solutionist is paying for it. Okay. Okay, he says, I appreciate those who make more paying for the whole bill. Yeah, that I mean, it is a great thing. And I will say this: we talk about it all the time when I'm with my girl mentor Shelly, but even Cherie talks about it. This is why you have to expand your network, because if you're always going out with those friends that hesitate to split a check, or hesitate, like they don't know what they want, how much they want to pay, and they're just not willing to just split it evenly, don't make that the only group of people that you go out with. You need to have a multicultural network, because you will see how it works in different groups of people. I remember I was part of a business group in LA, and I had never experienced going into a place every night where we would sit at this table. There was this big, pretty lounge. The Aperture Lounge is what they called it. And all these people, these movers and shakers, there's lawyers, there's judges, there's like, news personalities, all these people coming in. And they just bust open bottles of wine because they all have like wine lockers at the place. And we're having dinner and we're doing all this stuff, and they don't mind. They're like, yeah, okay, here's this bottle of wine, whatever, try it. And I remember the first time somebody offered me a glass of wine, I was like, how much do I owe you? Like, do I have to go pay at the bar? And they looked at me like I was so dumb. They were like, no, 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 honey. It's on me. It's on me. So you have to have a group of people just like that too. So it's okay to expand. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nice to have that experience is what I'm saying. So expand your networks, you guys. So yes, Samri, yes. And if I ever can pay for the whole group, I will. Like the young lady that I went out with last night, we were hanging out and I paid for her to get a cider, right? Because cider is a big thing in Virginia. And she looked at me like, oh. And I'm like, well, girl, the cider is like $8. I will pay for a cider for $8. That's like not even a thought to me, you know? I just appreciate the company. So planning ahead always, exactly. It's planning ahead does. But again, if you go to the store next time, I want you guys to go to the grocery store if you are a bargain shopper, because I am a bargain shopper, don't get me wrong. But if you catch yourself like standing in an aisle and you're comparing prices like apples to apples, if the price difference is only like 50 cents, do not stand there and agonize over it unless you are on some type of strict budget after you've talked to me over at mycreditcall.com. That's the only time you can have permission to do it. You better have everything written down and know why you are wasting time standing there agonizing over 50 cents. Okay, it better be part of a plan and it better be part of a wealth building strategy, because otherwise you're wasting time. And what you're saying to the universe, God, whoever you believe in, you're also saying it to yourself, is that the money you put out today, you do not believe will come back to you 10 times over. That is what you are saying in that moment. So yes, I'm getting preachy because I gotta make you guys understand why I'm saying it, why I'm saying what I'm saying. And guys, let me know if my signal's okay, because StreamYard's telling me I have like one little bar, which is crazy because my router is literally sitting right here next to me. You guys can't see it, but it's literally in my hand. I don't know why my signal would be weak, but that's Virginia for you. So, but that is what you're saying, right? Because even when people go over to my consultations, right? There are some people, they will pay that money and not even think twice. I'm like, and I'll get on the call with them and I'll say, hey, how did you even hear about me? And they'll say, oh, I looked at your national debt relief video and just decided to call. Wow. Now that's one type of client, right? Because they know what they want and they're going to pay for it and get the knowledge so they can move on to the next challenge in their life, right? Pay the money, get it done. There's this second group of people that maybe have to watch me for a few times. They need to come through, see me on a live stream, maybe get a taste of my personality, and then maybe they'll buy, right? So some people do have to kind of warm up to you. You have to, I think you have to, there's like 7 touch points or something like that before somebody will actually buy from you. And then there's this group of people, as soon as they click on it and they see they got to pay to talk to me and get my expertise, they're like, nope. Well, that's a person that's going to be searching for the answer for a very long time. And they're going to come back to this video where we're talking about millennial women not being happy. Because I'm going to talk about the men too. You guys know a couple of months ago, I talked about men, debt, and depression. It's hitting all of us. So it's not like I'm singling out one group of people. But with my millennial women in general, I'm worried about us. Okay? But yes, again, guys, agonizing over prices is going to waste so much of your time because you're saying, I will not get this money back. So now you're second guessing yourself. It's not me. You're not second guessing me or what I bring to the table. You're second guessing your earning potential. Okay? All right, so it's less stressful having money, and I believe that's what money is for. Yeah, it's for comfort, exactly. Exactly. So you and I, Grim, yes, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I will say this, Grim, without saying names, if you're still here, the main source that I learned that from, that money wasn't everything and that we need to just focus on inner peace. Why did that person drive a Mercedes G-Wagon? Since money doesn't buy happiness and we should only focus on inner peace. My question to that person would have been, hey, why is it that you drive this luxury SUV? Why is it that you own a lot of real estate in one of the most expensive markets in the world? Why? If money doesn't matter and it doesn't, and inner peace is all that matters. Why? Right? And it's not a jab at the person, because I still love this person very dearly, but I pay attention to everything because I am an analyst. I am a consultant. I have to look at all different aspects. You cannot tell me money doesn't matter and then live in the lap of luxury. You can't sell me both. Okay? You have to tell me money matters. That's it. Right? So I want to hear your input on that, Grim, if you're still here. Sorry, got a little quiet because, I was reflecting on something. Okay, so Jim Carrey actively manifested his career. Oh, God, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, Sam Reed. That's what I'm talking about. Jim Carrey literally wrote a check for himself for $10 million when he was broke, right? And now he's turning around and telling you, yeah, well, I did all that and busted my ass in all these movies and now I'm super rich and nobody can touch me. But it would be exactly the same if I made $25,000 a year. It would be the same. Okay, James. If it's the same, James Carrey, then why don't you give it all away? Why don't you create some kind of program where you have these business grants for young black entrepreneurs? Why don't you do that, James? Yeah, I'm calling out Jim Carrey like he'll ever see this, but that's what I'm saying. You guys have to take these quotes with a grain of salt. They're just blowing smoke up your butt, so you keep working. That's it. And I have the solution for how you're going to get out of that. Now, like I said, I am tired. I'm tired. But I'd rather be tired doing something that I want to do than being tired doing something that someone told me I should do. And that's the issue with us as millennial women. We are doing stuff that people told us to do. We are not doing what we want to do. Okay, which brings me to the next flipping article. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, y'all. I'm going to go through these comments too, but then I'm going to share my other article with y'all because I want to talk about how much money millennials actually make as a whole. I think the number might actually shock you. I know it shocked me because I don't know why people are fussing over how much they paying after I saw these numbers. But give me just a second, y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with me too. I got a handful of y'all here and I so appreciate you. You have no idea. Let's see. Okay, let me get that up there. And then, all right, y'all keep chatting too, because it sends it out to the algorithm. But so how much do millennials actually make? Let's see here. Can y'all see it? Yeah, I think you can. Okay. So this is from May 2023, CNBC. Let me make this a little bit bigger and we will talk about it. All right, let me see if I can move this. Oh, yay, okay. So it says, I'm going to skip down to the numbers here. So it says, according to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, the median millennial household pre-tax income was $71,566 in the year 2020. So that's pre-tax, you guys. So that means that after tax, they're probably only pulling in about 59 at best. That's for a single household, no dependents is what I'm guessing. So it says, however, a Sunmark credit union study on the spending habits of different generations found out that millennials spend on average $208.77 per day. So even though we're bringing in all this money, we're spending a crap load of money per day. So it says this includes the average daily cost of groceries, housing, utilities, insurance, entertaining, eating out, and more. So it says that number works out to be about $1,461.39 spent each week and $5,800 give or take per month. Hell, that's a lot. But at the end of the year, the average person will have spent $70,146, just under the median millennial income. Y'all, I promise I could read. This is shocking. So we're essentially breaking even. Okay, I am going to come back now because the guy that I told you about with, where he was doing this whole thing. Okay, that happened more than once when we went out. And that's when I realized, like, oh crap, this ain't going to work out. This ain't going to work out, sir, because you can't be doing this every time. Here I am, somebody that works on budgets and finance. And anyway, let me continue, y'all. But now I see why he may have been doing that, right? Because if we're making all this money and then we're spending to zero, ladies and gents, we have a problem here. How are we spending $208 per day? Now, the meme that says when we walk out of the house and then the numbers start going up, it goes cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It was a funny meme for a while, but it was funny because it was sad. I was laughing to keep from crying because every time I do go out of the house, I'll be honest with you, I spend about $50 to $100 no matter what, whether it's gas, groceries, or just, toiletries. It happens. And that's for my basic lifestyle. Y'all follow me on this channel. I'm not one of those like fancy girlies. Now I have, I dress up and stuff, but I'm not a fancy girly, and I still spend about $50 to $100 when I leave the house. So I can understand it now, but I still stand by what I said. If you can't afford to date, don't date. Anyway, back to the back to the content. Hold on, y'all. So it says factors affecting millennial earnings. It says the 2008 recession took a huge financial toll on millennials. A lack of jobs meant that fewer millennials were able to earn income or advance their careers, which set them back financially. Now, I wasn't that old in 2008, so I can't really say that I was hit hard by this because the industry that I was in was pretty much recession proof. I think I was in telecommunications at the time, and everybody was still buying iPhones, so I didn't have a problem. I always had a job, And then I moved over to housing. So when I moved over to housing, people always need a place to stay, so that's not going to hurt anything. So I wasn't necessarily hit by 2008 like most people. So I will say that. Now it says even out of work millennials finally landed jobs in the years following the recession. Their salaries had decreased. So it's saying that even after the recession, even though jobs came back, people were essentially making less per year. So I can understand that. Now further, it says the 2020, can't say that word, but the pandemic had an effect that played out across all age groups. It seemed as if millennials took yet another hit. So I will say that one's probably hit us the most out of everybody. But that's okay, you guys. So let me go ahead and come on back here and get on to these comments. So apparently millennials are making quite a bit of money. Hey there, Dave. What's up? Let's see. Why not when sitting down tell the server? I'm going to come back to that, Dave, because it's an interesting question that you ask, because I've had that happen before, and there's some places, it could just be a Virginia thing, but they don't actually want us to separate the bill. They will say, we don't do that here. Or as soon as you walk in, there's a sign that says we don't split bills. Or tell your server. So I have seen some places say tell your server, but for the most part, I want to say it's like parties of 8 or something. They won't split it, and then they add a certain amount of gratuity. Because out here, I think it's like 18% standard. Like if I go to this food place that's like not even a block away, it's $18 or 18% gratuity, even if you take out. They don't care. So I hear you, and I do that when there are places, but honestly speaking, I'm all about splitting evenly, because realistically, people that go out with me anyway, it's not like we're one person's ordering lobster and then somebody else is ordering, what's that thing? A side salad. You know what I mean? It's like we're going out to eat. But I feel you, Dave, and that does make sense. It does make sense. It's just in some cases, I guess it just doesn't happen. But Virginia is a different beast altogether. The way they charge food and tax out here is bewildering. It really is. I don't mind Dutch if that's what she wants. Yeah, and again, y'all, I knew I was going to have to back up on this. Y'all, do not be committed to misunderstanding me. What I'm saying, it's okay to go Dutch. But if every time we go on a date, you have to pull your phone out and move money from a loan into your checking account, it might be time for you to just say, hey, Victoria, let me cook you a dinner. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Ooh, y'all, that dating topic be touchy. Okay. So it says those homies are the people I do that for. Making money. The focus with the friend gatherings will distract from the fellowship. It does. And it really used to distract from the fellowship, because it was always, it was always the person that may have been the newcomer. I get that. I understand you may not want to pay like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, unless you are on a budget, and unless there's like, I'm not saying you should part with your money if you don't want to, but you should also be mindful of the group of people you're going out with. You know that out of 10 of us, we all every week split the food bill evenly. Why are you coming out with us? If you know that that's what we do, why would you come out and rock the boat? Clearly, we are not the group for you in this context. When we have the barbecue at the park, come through. Bring the paper plates. But if we're sitting and doing that, okay, if you know that's what you're going to do, you need to pull the waiter to the side and tell them to separate your check, right? Crisis averted. Crisis averted, y'all. Crisis averted. And like I said, I'm not dissing that guy. I mean, well, I am dissing him because he ended up being a jerk in the end. But y'all, I should have detected it. I should have detected it from the beginning. And Grim, I don't think you ever met them, but I mean, it was a cool group of people. I'm not even gonna front. I miss them terribly. Actually, doo, doo, doo. Said in the carpool line definitely makes it a lot better. I'm just saying, guys. There's a lot of things when I started to really pay attention to my life. There's a lot of things that I have done that literally it wastes so much time. So much time. If it's a matter of $20, just do it. This is anything in life, you guys. It's not just talking about dating. That was just an anecdotal um, story. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to bring a point home. That's all. Rent is a lot. Yes, rent is a lot, y'all. Rent is a lot. And even where I live, I pay quite a bit. Sorry, y'all. I was working on my edges today too. But yeah, it rent is a lot, and I think that that's a lot of that $280 that they were talking about. Because once I read further, it did say, that it is food, housing, utilities, all that good stuff. But also, guys, millennials, a lot of us live with people. When I meet people and they know my living situation, they ask me how the hell I can do it. And my answer is I don't know any other way. I've tried having roommates at least twice in my life. And you know what? The common denominator is me, y'all. I have a hard time living with people that I'm not romantically involved with. Number one, you're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me who I can have in this place if I pay for my space, right? And then we also have to figure out who's going to clean what, because let's just say there's community areas like the living room, the kitchen, places like that. Okay, well, once you start leaving dishes or your guests leave dishes, that could be a problem, right? That could be a problem. And I've always had that issue with roommates. It's because you have to kind of um, adjust your life to that communal style of living. And I think the only time I was ever comfortable with that was when I went to Australia and I lived with somebody for like a month. That was, I mean, there was nothing really to do because all he was at work all day, and I was at home. So I'm like, okay, well, why not put the dishes in the dishwasher, and why not, like, vacuum the floor? If I'm sitting here all day, all I did was, maybe take the train or something to go shopping for the day and walk around the pond. Yeah, cleaning up is the least I could do. But if we're sharing the rent, hell to the no. Why don't we just put more money in and get a housekeeper? So yeah, y'all, I don't do well living with people that I'm not romantically involved with. So that's definitely a Victoria thing. I'm not gonna put that on anybody else. Then there's student loan debt, exactly, and we're gonna hop into all of that, y'all, because I read another interesting article about women being the biggest receivers of the funds and assets in the next wealth transfer. I happen to know some of those people that are going to get that stuff, but I can tell you they're not happy. They're not happy. And I don't think it's the money part that is the reason that this person is not happy. I think it's because the wealth transfer is contingent upon them working their ass off and keeping the family business going. I think that is what makes this person sad. And that's what makes her feel like, is it worth it? So I'm going to talk about it in a minute, y'all. But let me get through these comments and then we'll jump into it. Let me see. Still Rock says, one of the many reasons is that we really don't understand how much we are spending. At the bank I used to work at, we used to give people registers and they would look at us crazy. 'Cause. 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 ' Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I do believe you have to write your expenses down. And like I said, if that is what people are doing, then to me, that is justifiable. But if you're just sitting there like on a principle thing, like, well, I'm not going to pay $2 extra, splitting the bill. Okay, now, all right, if you want to die on that $2 bill, that $2, if you want to die on that hill, die on it. You know, the rest of us are going to pay the even amount and be gone and go on about our lives and not even think twice about it. But if you are on a plan, yes, I understand. Like that I understand. Ooh, still rocks. You got a lot to say today, brother. But I appreciate you. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of a budget. And that's what we talk about over at mycreditcall.com when I do my consultations. It's the matter, like what it is. There's no point in having the budget if you don't have a plan for where the extra money is going to go, like your surplus. Where is that going to go? And if you are not going to go back and do an analysis of your spending patterns with that budget, because that's the purpose of a budget, right? But just saying, well, I don't want to pay extra 50 cents just because you're cheap, that's a problem. That's a problem. You're doing it just to do it. Because it's like, what is the point? Right? You want more money in your pocket. Yes, that makes sense. But to do what with? Is it just on, like, you want more money in your pocket just based on principle of having more money in your pocket? No, that's not strong enough for Credit Solutionist. It's not. It's not. That's why I do budget plans for people. Because I'm not just going to have you sitting out there with your friends looking crazy unless you got a plan for that money. You know what I'm saying? What's that extra $2 in your checking account? What did that do? Where'd you put it? So anyway, still rocks. Then we're going to get into this next article. Somebody been this day and hanging out. We also got to make it a group financial movement. Let's all do something cost effective mainly. Exactly. And there's so many things that are cost effective to do here in Virginia. They should have never agreed to go to a restaurant that's like $40 or $50 a plate. That was on them. That was on them. I'm just the girl that was dating the dude. Okay? But I would have been okay going to one of the arcade slash bars that we have out here, because that's a really big thing here in Virginia. I would have even been cool going to Top Golf. That would have been fun as hell. But no, we want to go to the most expensive restaurant at this location and sit down and canoodle. That's on y'all. Okay? I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm gonna die on that hill. That brother got to get his finances together. Finna let the kid listen on the way home. Them edges fine. Look, I had to cover them, but no, I redid them all. And like I said, I was working on it and then had to hop on here. But that's even another thing, y'all. I know y'all probably don't know, but for years, ever since I was 14 years old, I've been braiding my own hair. I have a big head and a big head of hair. As a matter of fact, I will show you. Yes, the 90-day Rapper Repair mini ebook, that fro, that's mine. So braiding up all of that hair, y'all, please. That is one of the biggest time consuming activities I ever have done in my life. So I vowed I'm not braiding my hair anymore because I need to save time. So now I have a nice little lady from Ethiopia or somewhere. No, she's Haitian. A nice little Haitian lady in the next town over. She braids my hair. Okay? Because if she can do it in 8 hours, what takes me 3 days to do, guess what? Credit Solutionist is going to pay for that convenience because that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying to rest my shoulders. I'm paying to rest and be able to jump into my business and do the things that I want to do. So money, again, does not buy happiness for us millennial women. It buys convenience. It buys time back. You are buying your time back when you spend money on certain things, right? That's what it's about, y'all. But I feel like we as women especially have been told, spend the money, but nobody's telling us why. Nobody's telling us what the end goal is. Is the end goal the vacation in Tahiti? Is that what it is? Well, maybe, sis, instead of going and getting a doctorate, which is going to put you in more debt, because I don't know if Diamond Dave is still here, but we all know women that look like me are the most educated, but we are like literally just about the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to annual income. So if you want to travel, maybe getting a degree is not the way to do it to get the better job. Maybe you need to work for an airline. That's probably what you need to do, right? So you could get the free travel. Maybe you need to segue out of the office and get a remote job with said airline so you can travel for free and still work while you're at your destination. That's a flex. Credit Solutionist just taught you how to save thousands of dollars. But that's going to go over a lot of heads right now, right? But that is what you're supposed to do. Get the job so you could get the benefit of that job. So not only do you have the benefit, you're saving the money you would have spent doing it. Okay? So read the menu on Google Maps for the prices of food. Exactly. That's the kind of time that people need to be spending. Research the place that you're going to go to. But firstly, know your budget first. Know your budget. If you know that you only have every month $50 set aside, which I create that plan for you, right? I will create that plan and say, okay, I don't believe that you should be working as much as I do. I think that you should set aside some money so you can have that me time, that time to socialize, that time to just be yourself. I do believe that you should always allocate funds to that. So I will tell you, if it's $50, great. And just like what Samri said here, I'm going to bring her back up because she's spitting game right now. If $50 is all you have for that month for your entertainment costs, you need to be researching where you can afford to go, how much you're going to spend, and you need to stick to it. You do not need to do what this person did and continued to do, where it's, oh, let's just go here, let's just go here, let's just go here. But then when the bill comes, you don't know what to do. Right? So we got to pull back and we have to start to create a plan for ourselves, right? This is men and women alike. So I'm going to probably do a live stream about this later on, about the dating aspect of finance. Because I do believe even if you are lower income or on a fixed budget, I do still believe that you have the right to date, because why not? But I do think you have to adjust. One, people have to adjust their expectations for what they expect. Number two, I'm sorry, but I mean, a $200 dinner sometimes is not as meaningful as a night miniature golfing with somebody, because see, at the dinner I'm eating and I'm digesting food, so I'm not really paying attention to you. I might be having a glass of wine, so I might be missing a few red flags. But if we go and we have a date where we can actually communicate, we're having fun, we're talking, I get a vibe from you during that date. You're saving money, of course, because that's a cheaper date, right? It's less expensive. But also, I'm getting to see, does this guy know how to make a joke? Can this guy take a joke? Is this guy playful? Is he a nice guy? Does he have manners? You know, is he opening the door when we walk through? Those kinds of dates that are less expensive say so much more about a person than that expensive date, right? That it does. It does. So I think Samri's onto something. When you research the dates and things like that, you need to be focused on the substance of the date and not the cost of the date. But I'm still of the belief that if the cost is higher, it shouldn't be a problem. So let me get back onto the millennial women, okay? Y'all be knowing I can't ever stay on task. My God. So we're going to talk about the women and the wealth transfer. I'm not going to stay on this too much because I do think that it's geared toward a certain woman. I don't think that it's most of the women that deal with me on my platform. And I don't think it's for women that look like me. So I'm going to share, give me just a second here. Because this wealth transfer conversation is a very interesting one. And I think Cherie over at Black Women Making Money covered this before as well. If you stand to make an inheritance in the chat, I'd love to know. I mean, don't tell me how much you're going to make, but is anybody in the chat going to inherit anything? Because I had a really interesting conversation with my mom not too long ago where I said to her, you know, there's three of us. 3 siblings. I have 2 brothers and I'm in the middle. How are we going to split this one house that you purchased? what does my inheritance look like? Because when you have multiple children, I don't know that there's enough to go around where any of us are going to be able to stop working. So let's talk about this article, y'all. So it says women will control billions of dollars being offloaded by boomers. So this is talking about the wealth transfer, okay? So it says women will be in control of a large portion of the trillions of dollars soon to be moved in the great wealth transfer. And it says it's set to occur as aging baby boomers die and leave an estimated 84.4 trillion in assets to their heirs. The money will likely go to Gen X and millennials through about 2045. So us millennial women have a very big opportunity here to become some really high asset holders. I'll say that. I don't know about high income earners, but we will definitely be owning some assets here. Now it says 57% of millennials said they're set to inherit $1 million or more in the great wealth transfer. It says this group is even more likely to reap the benefits of the trillions left over by boomers. And we're talking about women here. So it says many billions are going to go to women as inheritance. Statistically, as men tend to die earlier, much of it will be spousal benefits following the deaths of baby boomer men. So the money's going to probably go to the wife, and then some of it's going to go to the children. As I said, I know someone and work closely with someone that definitely is getting an inheritance at this time as we speak, and I would assume it's in the millions of dollars because their business grosses over $9 million per year here in Virginia. So I know they stand to inherit a ton of money. But there's a caveat, so let me keep on going and I'm going to talk about it. Roughly 34% of pre-retiree women said they expected to receive more than $1 million. I just told y'all, I know one of those people. Some of the women will need to start an investment portfolio. Absolutely, but it should have already been started anyway. According to the report, 68% of women aged 55 and older do their own investment research. Meanwhile, 81% of women between the ages of 35 and 44 said they were interested in taking control over their investments. Now, this is key here because a lot of millennial women, because we are in the workforce, many of us just rely on our job and the 401k that they offer to us. It wasn't until maybe 2019 or 2020 that I opened up a Roth IRA because I happened to run into somebody at that business group, the business club that I was in Los Angeles, where I was a fish out of water for a good few months when I was first there, right? But I learned the game pretty quick after a couple of months. But you know, he introduced me to that and he said, look, you need to start investing outside of your job. He's like, that's not enough. He's like, you really think that your employer who pays you a portion of the millions, dare I say billions that they make, you really think that what they're paying you is fair? So if they pay you an annual salary that isn't fair, what do you think your investment in your retirement portfolio looks like right now? They're like, he's like, no, it's more advantageous for them. He said, so you just need to take control. Let's open this account, girl. I'm like, okay, yes, we'll do it. So 35 and 44, again, that's millennial age women such as myself. We're not taking control. We're letting our employer do it for us. Even worse, we just signed the papers when we start the job and don't even really look into it. Now, if you roll with Diamond Dave, you are obviously looking at more and getting in the weeds of everything, right? And learning how to invest. But your average person's not doing that, right? And that's why Diamond Dave exists, because he knows the average person isn't doing that. They're not looking at their investments, okay? But anyway, let me get back to this article. So as unappealing as it is, those set to benefit from the great wealth transfer are going to have to develop a game plan for how to use their inheritance. Because again, y'all, if you get a truckload of money, if you don't know what to do with it, you're going to lose it within a few years. Because you know what they say about lotto winners? They win the lotto and then a couple years later, they're back in the poorhouse. Because you know what? They still have that poor person mentality. They still have it. And that's because a lot of times with people, and millennial women suffer from this, we get the money and it burns a hole right through our hand. We get the money, we immediately want to satiate something going on with us. We want to buy a trip, we want to buy a car, we want to, buy clothes that aren't even going to be in style even 6 months from the day that you buy it, right? I do believe in buying certain pieces, like maybe a nice Louis Vuitton purse or something like that. But to get all that weird niche stuff that's like colorful and wacky, and if you wear it, like even, what are we in October? If you wear it by March of next year, it's going to look out of place because it's not even in style anymore. I'm not spending thousands of dollars on stuff like that. Fashion is temporary. Unless you're buying something classic that's going to last and you can pass it down to your children. No. And a lot of millennial women struggle with that because we're big on image. And a lot of that has to do with social media. So let me jump back in this article because y'all, so many areas I could touch on with this. So it says so many believe they would manage a lump sum properly, but data shows us otherwise. Much like lottery winnings, inheritance amounts can be squandered in just a few years if not budgeted to maximize their potential. So this is a financial expert here, Michael Ryan. He says he became a financial planner after witnessing his aunt navigate her finances as a young widow. He says when his uncle passed away unexpectedly at a young age, his aunt found herself in a situation that was all too common. She didn't even know how to write a check. Now that's something a little different because I think for most millennial women, we know how to write a check. We know how to swipe a card. We know how to spend money, but a lot of us don't know how to allocate our money. I think that's a big issue, which is why not just with credit repair, I started doing the debt counseling too. Because what I noticed is all of the women, whenever I have my consultations, it's always them taking care of other people while simultaneously trying to take care of themselves and also trying to keep an image. They're trying to maintain this image of success. But deep down, there's a lot of mental health issues that are going on because you can work yourself to exhaustion and burnout. But the problem with burnout and exhaustion is that it's sneaky. You do not experience burnout right after working super hard. Burnout is something that accumulates over time, and then you end up passing out. You end up going to sleep, and you know how maybe you've had a marathon of sleep where you sleep for 12 hours straight and you're like, how the hell did that happen? It's because of all the pressure that you have in your life. You're not putting we're not giving it the attention that it deserves. A lot of women are out here struggling right now. But if I look at your TikTok, it looks like everything's great. I know what to look for to see that you're tired. You're smiling. You're showing us where you went, your outings and all this good stuff. Yeah, you showed us 5 minutes of your day. 5 minutes, right? But I want to see, what do you look like before you go to bed at night? When you wipe off all the makeup and all that. Girl, you stressed. You are stressed, okay? Yes, you have a high-powered job, and kudos, because that's what we want to do, right? But if you're trying to balance that high-powered job with simultaneously trying to have a relationship, start a family, and even take care of your dog and your plants, baby, that's a lot. And you got debt on top of it because you went to school to get that high-powered job that you have. So I know you're just like those millennials in that other article that we talked about where you're spending $208 a day, even though you make $90,000 a year. You are literally breaking even. As soon as it comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. It's a lot of pressure on a woman. It's a lot. So it says women generally live longer than men. We know this. I used to work at a retirement community. They absolutely do. The women will be kicking. All the more reason that we have to get our finances straight. Now it says the days of women being excluded from financial decisions are long gone. With advancements in education and careers, women are increasingly taking charge of wealth management. Even the stay at home wives, this is true because my mother is a stay at home wife, but her story is a lot different. Her story is what is probably going to be a lot of our story as millennial women. A lot of us will be working at the front end of our lives and then we'll get married later on. Now, I will tell you that there's a big effort online to make you believe that because you're over 35, you'll never get married and you'll have to work your ass off for the rest of your life. Now, you will have to work your ass off, but I don't think you're going to have to work your ass off at somebody's job. I don't think that. I think you'll have to work your ass off to maintain your marriage and have your children and your family. I think you'll have to work your ass off for that. But you can't do both. You can't do both successfully. Sorry, millennial women, you can't do it. Okay. But back to my mom. My mom was a single parent, worked her butt off, like for all of us, right? But in her, I think she got married in her late 40s or early 50s or something like that. And she hasn't worked a day since. She hasn't worked a day since. Okay. She's chilling. And yes, my mother owns real estate. Okay. And like I said, she's chilling. Now she has a budget. Yes. Her and my stepdad have a budget. But she ain't got to work. And he actually just retired. Now, there's a lot of other factors in the back end that I'm not going to share with you all because it's not your business. But I will say my mother did things correctly financially to where she could leave a job in her 40s and never work again. She stopped working before she got married because she knew how to play the game. And I give her props for that. So I think for millennial women, that is more or less what it's going to look like. We're going to have to be strategic in every way because a lot of us are working and the family's going to come on the tail end. Now, it's not going to happen for some of us. It's not going to happen for some of us. But that's all I'm going to say. Let me get back in this article. I ain't going to speak on myself now. Okay, so let's see here if there's anything else in here we need to talk about. All right, so let's talk about the advice. And then I'm going to I have a very important question for you guys about this. So the primary advice here from some guy with the last name Schultz, he says, for those who think they'll be receiving a big inheritance, don't count on it. That's what he's saying. He says it may sound strange, but the fact is that there's no guarantee that you'll see a cent of it. Medical emergencies can eat away at inheritances in a hurry. So can ill-timed stock market crashes. Okay, that is true. That is true. But I do have a question for you all. Thank you, Mark Daly. Haven't seen you in here in a while. Welcome back, brother. Okay, so I have a question for you all. And again, my signal is really bad right now. So if I start cutting out, let me know, guys, because I haven't seen a chat here in a minute, and you guys are probably just quiet, which is fine. But I have a question for you. When it comes to that wealth transfer, the article itself says that women, millennial women, stand to inherit billions of dollars. But y'all, who are they talking about? Who are they talking about? Because they're not talking about me, right? I'm a Black American female millennial, and I'm not gonna inherit $1 million. So I think they're talking about my counterparts, meaning Caucasians. I think they're talking about Caucasians, possibly Asians, second, third generation. I don't think that we have that much of a stake in this when it comes to the millennial women that are going to be inheriting a lot. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't think it's going to be us. So this is kind of where you read an article and take it with a grain of salt if that is not your life. I'm telling you, as a business owner and someone that helps people with budgets and income and credit, that is how you are going to become part of this. Now, you well, maybe not you, unless you buy your mom a house or something and she gives it to you later. But I think that your children have the opportunity to become a part of the next wealth transfer. That's what I think is going to happen, because your average Black millennial woman is in a lot of debt. So I couldn't even read this article in good faith and put myself in this category. I can honestly say it's not me. And I know that it's not any of my clients. And I'm wondering how it's any of these people that carry an average of $6,000 of consumer debt. How is it those people? Because why aren't these parents, these boomer parents, why aren't they helping them now to pay off this debt? You know what I mean? Like, who is it? And the thing in the article is it just says millennial women. It doesn't tell you what demographic of millennial women. And I'm talking about race. Yes, I'm talking about it. It doesn't tell me what race of women is going to get it. So I love this article. And yes, it makes me feel good that millennial women will be getting a part of this wealth transfer. But no, it's like pulling teeth to tell people my age to get whole life insurance and stop buying term. But if term is all you can afford, that's okay. But when I'm walking or driving down the street here in Virginia and I see the car wash signs because somebody passed away and the family doesn't have the $5,000 to bury them, what millennials are they talking about? Because the person that passed away isn't passing anything to those people. They didn't even have a $20 life insurance policy to pass on so they could be buried in peace. This is why I do what I do. You want to know why credit repair exists? Well, it exists because for some of us, we're not going to be able to leverage our income into asset building. We're going to have to actually have a decent credit score and use that to get credit lines, to obtain credit, to then flip that into cash. We're not talking about that on this screen here, but to flip that into cash and then obtain those assets, right? Because some of y'all are not going to obtain your wealth by getting a traditional mortgage. Mainly millennial women. I'm not sure why we're so stuck on wanting to work with a bank for our very first home. I don't know why. This is partially why so many millennial women are sick and tired and stressed out. Okay? Because again, if you make 90,000, you spend in 70,000 just on living expenses. Where are you finding the money to invest in real estate? You're going to have to get credit. You're going to have to like improve your credit score. You're going to have to. Okay, you say you're doing your hair, just listening. Girl, I was debating on coming on here and fixing my edges while I was doing this live, but I'm not going to do that. So you say, unfortunately, most of the news, unless specified, is taught exactly. So you guys, this Samri brings up a great point. And you guys, don't be sensitive about this. She's spitting facts, because whenever stories are on the news, do you ever notice how when it is the majority of the population, which is Caucasian, men and women, they literally just say, man does ba ba ba, woman does dot 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 dot. Whenever they say one of us, it's black, suspect was a black male, or black man is the first to do this, or black woman is the first this and that. Why do you have to highlight that? A person is a person, but we know with the way that the news works, whenever stories like this come out, and I'm gonna show the headline again, because now, thank you, this is a teachable moment, Samri, so I appreciate you. Your question has to be, who are they talking about? Who are they talking about? Because some of you sitting here, yes, you will get an inheritance, and yes, that's great. Like I said, I probably will get one, but it's not going to be this $1 million stuff. You guys, it's not. And let's talk about that too, without getting too deep into it. Part of the reason that people of color are not going to be part of this wealth transfer, and I'm talking about the majority of people of color, so please don't come on here telling me how your parents made hundreds of thousands of dollars and how they work for the government, blah, blah, blah. Miss me with that. I come from a family where everybody worked in government. I am the only one that doesn't. myself and my little brother. Well, my younger brother. Let me stop calling him little. He's not little. He's like over 30 years old. So myself and my younger brother are not in aerospace. We don't work for companies that have government contracts. Now, yes, I am a liaison between a property owner and the government in another area of my life. I'm not telling y'all all my business. But I work closely with the government, yes, but I am not a government employee by any stretch of the imagination. The closest I ever got to working government, I was government adjacent. I worked for the post office when I was like 19. And that job actually got taken out by AI, believe it or not. But I think there's like one more. Yeah, I was a remote encoder, so that was pretty fun. But I think there's one remote encoding center left in the country, and I think it's in Utah. I'd do that job again. I'd move to Utah to do that job. That job was great. But I've never worked in government. I've always been government adjacent my whole life. And we get it. A lot of Black people have those jobs. Again, I come from a family just like that. I get it. But except for maybe in my early 20s, that's never been something I've wanted to do. You know what I mean? They make a good amount of money. But even with that, you guys know you have to have security clearances, right? So if your credit is shot, you're going to lose that job anyway. You know what I mean? So get your clearances and stuff, guys, but you still got to keep your finances together in the back end, you know? But even so, my point is you are not going to be a part of this. So what does that mean? It means that now we have to take the steps necessary so we can gather as much wealth as possible. We have to start harnessing it and kind of creating a wave where it comes back to this community, because I am one of the few that still believes that the Black community can excel. I think tech is a great place to do it. There's been an explosion of Black people in tech. I think that's going to be one of the places that we can do it. Another one of the places that I think millennials, particularly millennial women, can do it is in the service industry. Now, I do not want you to go out and be a plumber, but I think that you could generate leads for plumbers. I do think that you could start your own business where maybe you do the scheduling for a plumber or an HVAC company or something like that. I think that a millennial woman could absolutely do that. I don't believe that you should have to get up every day and sweat your ass off at a job that you hate, because it's very mentally taxing to go into a job where you don't like anybody that's there. Because if y'all were here for the live stream the other day, Mentor Shelly and I talked about it. Your coworkers are not your friends. You know, they're not. You know, all the coworkers I've had in my life, if you had asked me when I was in the job, would I know those people now? I would have said, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. I love so-and-so. I love Stacy. I love Karen. I love, whoever else, y'all. I'm trying not to say real names. But I say to myself, yeah, I love them. Of course I'll be friends with them. Y'all, I don't know where the hell those people's feet hit the ground now. And you probably don't either. Because the common thing that y'all all have is that you go to this place every day to make money. Remember that money that y'all said don't buy happiness? Is buying you something, because why are you getting up and doing it then? Why are you getting up and making money if it means nothing? If it doesn't buy you some sort of satisfaction, why are you getting up and doing it every day? I'm challenging you to get up and make money doing something that you want to do. Doing something that benefits your community. Doing something that brings more wealth back into the Black community or whatever community you belong to. That's my gripe with everybody. It's like we're fighting tooth and nail, but for what? For what? You're going to a job experiencing microaggressions, all kind of crazy, people talking to you sideways. Your boss is now calling in that little line at the bottom of your job description that says other duties as assigned. As they're laying people off, they're now putting more on your plate. Millennial woman, that's what they're doing. But for what? That's my question. Are you enjoying it? You say money doesn't buy happiness, then why are you doing it? I'm gonna keep asking that question. because I haven't got an answer yet. And I know my signal is trash right now. But I know y'all heard me. If money doesn't buy happiness, and millennial women are sick, tired, busted, and disgusted, we are annoyed with life. If we are that fed up and money don't matter, why are we doing it? Back to Sam Reed's statement, okay? So, no, you will not be a part of this wealth transfer that's going to happen. But it doesn't mean that you cannot start accumulating the wealth that you need right now. Okay? So I know that y'all going to challenge me on these numbers, and that's okay. You can challenge me on the numbers. I invite it. But what I want to say, let me see. Let's stop that screen. Hey, Dave, I didn't know you were still here. Thank you. Best answer in the house. That's it. And that was the point I was trying to make. It's like we're doing it because we have to. And there's a level of disdain that comes with that. There's a level of health risks that come with that. Because like I said, I don't know if you heard me, Dave, but I was talking in the beginning about, I went on an outing last night. And I realized I haven't gone on an outing in so long because I've been working. When I come on social media, that's because I have extra time. Extra time. Okay? So when y'all see me, that's probably the most free time I have out of the day. I don't be kicking my feet up doing nothing. Okay? But my time is my time. If I'm having quiet time, don't text me. I'm not going to respond because I need my time. But they have to, Dave, and I'm glad that you said that. While I was on this outing, the point I'm trying to make is that it didn't hit me until it was this little light show. And I went all the way down to the bottom because it's on a hill. Virginia has a lot of hills, a lot of foothills. And as I was walking down this hill, the whole show, you have to walk downhill while you're watching the show. The thing that escaped me was, oh crap, we're walking down this steep hill and we got to walk all the way back up. And it was at that moment, as we were walking back up, I realized I'm tired. I'm tired. And it's not because, well, yeah, okay, I got some extra pounds. I ain't gonna say I'm not, because I do. But that was part of it. But even that, a lot of us millennial women carry extra weight, right? We carry extra weight. Credit Solutionist is one of them. So I'm not on here trying to make it seem like I'm different than y'all. No. I'm trying to tell you how much I am like you. But even that, it's like that a lot of that is stress induced, you guys. A lot of it is waking up, making money like Diamond Dave just said here, because you have to. There is stress that comes with that. There's a cortisol increase that comes with that. There's thyroid issues that come with that, millennial woman. Okay? There are health implications to this too. You're working too hard. I'm working too hard. Right? And the reason that you're here, hopefully, is because you're looking for an answer. And when I say to you, start your small business, when I say to you, take time for yourself to figure out how much money you're making, how much money you can put to the side for an actual goal, because yes, you do need your emergency fund. Yes. But outside of that, once you have the emergency fund, now what's the purpose of the surplus income? What are we doing with it? Because having it just sit in the bank, I'm sure Diamond Dave can agree with this, it's not doing anything for you at 0.01%. It's not doing anything other than making you feel good that you did it. So that's a cool little ego boost for the moment. Congratulations. But that cortisol is still increasing, right? We store a lot of fat around our bellies, right? And I think I'm one of those, because if you see me in person, yes, you could tell I'm a bigger girl, but I believe I carry most of my weight in. You wouldn't know that, right? But I do, because I think I'm a lot heavier than I look. And that's what I'm getting at. So, as I'm walking up this hill, I was thinking, oh my God, girl, where did all the extra weight come from? And a lot of it is stress, the stress of I have to make money because I have to pay my bills. I have to get on YouTube because I got to get some clients, right? So again, when you see people even online, I'm a segue over here. When you see millennial women talking business, a lot of them are fast talkers, fast talkers, fast talkers, or glamour girls making it seem like we're just, everything is just hunky dory. It's great. No, coming on like that costs money. The other thing is, it don't cost a lot to build a set behind you, and then everything that's behind the camera looks like shit. And there goes my monetization, right? But it doesn't take a lot to look like you're doing something that you're not. It doesn't take a lot. But the what's the word I'm looking for? The backlash that you receive is not from your audience. The backlash you receive is from your body. Your body will shut down on you. 100%. Okay. And Shelly, I see you there, girl. Anyway, I can attest to that. And Shelly can too, because I talked to her about it. And it was like, whoa, it hit me like a ton of bricks the last week. Like, yo, I got to slow down. Heart palpitations and shit, that ain't no joke, y'all. Because Credit Solutionists ain't never had that before in my life. Right? Because a lot of us are just going through our day to day. Stressful situations happen, and then we just put it behind us and we keep going because we got to make money. We got to make money. We got to make money because as a millennial, that's what I was taught. I was taught you better work, you better save money, you better go to school, you better keep your head on straight. Nobody in any of that, and any ladies that are in here, I want you to tell me, we were told go to school, get a job. I was never told to start a family. I was never told to get married. I was never told to focus on the things that were going to give me purpose. I was never taught to focus on those things, right? And I'm not saying that like family and kids is the only thing that's going to give you purpose. What I am saying is that going into a job and clocking in, if that brings you purpose, cool. Then you're meant to be in that workforce and work your ass off, sis. But I want you to also still pay attention to what your body's telling you, right? Because it doesn't make sense to make $100,000 right now if you are eventually going to develop type 2 diabetes, if you're going to eventually have fluid retention, right? Because you're sitting down at the computer all day. That's something that I went through. I was like, whoa, why does my ankle look like that? Oh, because I've been sitting for 10 hours working on credit, doing consultations, not getting up and walking like I should, right? So I'm just saying, this is a big reason millennial women are struggling because we're working, and nobody told us, oh, but by the way, in the midst of doing the work and all that stuff, you're supposed to still enjoy your life. You're supposed to still take time. Nobody said that. I don't know if any of you were ever told that as children, but I was never told you are also supposed to take time, enjoy yourself, have a vacation, go kick your feet up somewhere, right? Getting a couple of extra hours of sleep for me, that's a vacation. Nobody told me that was going to be my vacation. Okay? You want to talk about enjoying simple things? Lord have mercy, bro. Oh. Let me go down to this super chat. Miss says Phoenix, thank you. Thank you so much. You are now the show sponsor, you guys. Again, this is great. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for giving me a piece of your hard-earned money, because you had to spend time, that time that you will not get back, to make that $20, and you gave it to me, and I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. So let me go back up here because I'm not sure who I left off on. But I just want to know if any of you all can tell me that. Like, did your mother, your father, did the school system, did any of those factions, did any of them tell you that you deserve to take time for yourself? Or are you just now in your big girl age seeing and realizing you need to take a break? But are you simultaneously seeing now that you can't afford to take a break because your lifestyle has creeped up and you're breaking even? And a lot of the people I even talk to over at mycreditcall.com, a lot of those people are below breaking even, and they make damn good money. but they're negative. And that is why they called me, because they're like, wait, I make a lot of money, Victoria. Why? Why is my credit card debt now skyrocketing? And that's where the majority of my money's going, to these minimum payments of $200 to $300 a month. Well, that's because you thought consuming was going to bring you happiness and lifestyle creep versus just taking time to get to know yourself and taking time off when you needed to. Okay, so women don't want full participation in the... Ooh, Dave, I know. Hold on, y'all, because I know what Dave is doing right now, and I appreciate it because, brother, yes. And I love that conversation you had the other day where you were saying, I'm paraphrasing, but you were saying that we want that equality, but we don't want what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want the $100,000 job, but you don't want the work and the stress that comes along with it, right? You want the $100,000 job, but you don't want to do the other duties as assigned as they are assigned to you. And that's a problem. So thank you for saying that, Dave, because that's part of what I'm talking about in this conversation. Because even for me, like when I started my business, in my head, I was like, oh, money's going to roll in, money's going to roll in, money's going to roll in. And granted, when I first started it, yes, that's what happened. But when I look back, it's because I started it at the right time. I started it in the right industry because everybody wanted to flex with credit. And I also had somebody with a semi-national platform that was promoting me for free. So yes, y'all, I didn't have to work for clients. I think Laura Grimm is probably gone, but he knows who I'm talking about. And it's like, I had this person literally let me advertise on their channel every weekend, and like clockwork, calls would come in, clients would sign up like clockwork. It was you guys. But I never anticipated the work I'd have to do after that stopped. After it was like, oh no, now Victoria, you have to promote your own business. You cannot lean on this person, because what if something happens to where that person becomes persona non grata? They become public enemy number one. Now, do you want your name associated with that person? Which brings me to something, Diamond Dave. I don't know if you saw it yet, but I was looking through YouTube today, and oddly enough, you remember the sister that had the $1 million credit repair, not scam, I guess it was kind of a scheme. I'll call it a scheme, where she was arrested for filing all those fake police reports to get people's credit fixed. Well, I happened to come across her YouTube channel. She's been busting out credit repair content for the last 2 years. So maybe her case is pending or something. She's uncancelable at this point. They got pictures of her in handcuffs, but she's busting her ass. And she's been working. And her videos got 50,000 views, 20,000 views, all kind of stuff. Everybody said she was a scammer. She was this and that. That girl ain't stopped doing credit repair yet. That girl knows she got to work. That's why. Okay, so this is kind of the point that I'm trying to make. But back to your original question, Dave. Women want full participation, but we don't want to participate fully. And I think you picking up what I'm putting down when I say that. We want to participate, but not really. We just want the spoils. And I can say that freely because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to impress anybody. I don't get anything from lying to y'all. Right? Because I had that happen in my last corporate job. I didn't want to work very hard, and I had a boss that didn't demand that I do. But when she asked me to work hard, I had to step up. Okay, we're going to work because the alternative is scary. But and even when you say that, Samry, what is the alternative? Because I just told you what the alternative is for my mom. The alternative for her was, okay, look, this company's giving me such and such amount of dollars as a payout. I'm not going to stay here till I retire. So I'm going to take this money and we going to figure it out. And not even a year later, my mama was married to somebody with a pension Multiple pensions, by the way. They ain't gonna want for nothing. She played it right. So her alternative is the exception, not the rule. But she also had to wait a very long time to become an exception. So are you willing to do that, millennial woman? Are you willing to do that? And I have to ask myself that too. I have to ask myself, do I want to continue to work my ass off to get it for myself? Or do I eventually, as I'm building my assets, do I eventually want to tether myself to somebody where we can build together? Because then, maybe then, I will get to sit my ass down for a day. These are serious questions that you millennial women and me millennial woman have to think about. Yes, I like making my own money and working for myself, but you a damn lie if you say two incomes are not better than one. Don't come on Credit Solutionist channel lying like that. Don't come out here lying like that to save face. Don't nobody know who y'all are. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Nobody's saying that you need an extra income, but damn it if it won't help. Okay? Because another thing about this wealth transfer that they ain't telling you about, this is from families that came from two-parent households. These are millennials that came from two-parent households. I'm sorry. I'm going to be the one to say it. And that's all I'm going to lose y'all on that one. Hey, girl. Okay. Yes. Listen. I'm not going to tell y'all how bad it got last week, but I do have a therapist. And when I went in and told her how I was feeling, she wouldn't even see me. She was like, you know what? She's like, I'm not going to let you sit for this session. You got to go. She's like, go. She said, you got to go to the doctor. Goodbye. She shut me down quick. But see, you need a network of people like that, because if I don't pick up the phone and tell my friend or my mom or whoever that I'm feeling stressed, I have to rely on the people in my network to listen to what I'm saying and tell me to go to the doctor. She would not talk to me. And I needed to talk to her that day. And she was like, no. She said, if you feel like that, I'm sorry. She's like, yes, this talking to me as your therapist is part of your health, but you're no good if your body shuts down, Victoria. You need to go. So yeah, high levels of cortisol, it impacts the weight. And Diamond Dave, there's a big, I think, an effort to, there's a big promotion there's a big campaign right now going on to make overweight women think that that is great. And I'm going to lose a lot of people because this is a credit channel, but I'm going there. There's nothing cute about being 50, 70, 100, 200 pounds overweight. I can speak on it because I am a woman that carries extra weight. I can speak on it before y'all try to come for me. There's nothing cute about it. I was struggling walking up that hill last night, and I tried to wear some cute boots. Y'all, it hurt. Okay? And there's a concerted effort right now for this, even body positivity. I'm all for being okay with the skin you're in, but there's nothing wrong with trying to improve the body that you're in. It's not an aesthetics thing. But it also is proven that people that look better make more money. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I am just here to tell you about it. And maybe we'll talk about it on a future live stream. But I do think, back to what you're saying right here, Dave, women tend to be very overweight these days, particularly millennial women. And I think, again, there's an effort to keep us that way. There's an effort to keep us that way. Body positivity is trying to keep us that way. But I shouldn't say you women, because I'm in it too. What us women don't realize is that they're playing on our vanity. And by playing on our vanity, let me show you the chart. Here's what's happening when they play on your vanity. Where is it? Hold on, guys. All right. So they're playing on our vanity. And because of that, we're not making money, okay? Because all the money that we're getting, we're spending on wigs and makeup and goofy stuff. We're going to have expensive dinners that we can take pictures of and put on social media. Y'all don't know what I eat because I'm not going to show you, because why do you care? Who cares if I went to a fancy restaurant last night? Why do you care? Okay? Hey, excuse me, guys. I don't live too far from the airport. There's a big plane flying over. Sorry. Can't even hear myself think. Okay, so it says here, women's real median income earnings. Okay, this is 20 to 2021. And then you can see it's color coded by the different age groups. So for purposes of our conversation and the vanity talk, I'm going to focus on women that are 30 to 39 and 40 to 49. That's the two blues in the middle of each one of these charts. You can easily see here that the median annual earnings among the Asian women is quite high, but I don't know if you can see it. It's $60,000 for women ages 30 to 39, and then it is $60,400 for women 40 to 49. The interesting thing about this is that it's only a $400 difference, but there's a decade of difference between these two groups of women. Now, the lowest here, as far as the area or the median income between women that are millennial aged, which is the two in the middle, this is Hispanic women. They actually do make the least out of everybody, according to this chart, but this is 2021. I will have you remember, but it's $32,600 for women 30 to 39. And then from 40 to 49, they make $33,300. That's a very low median, because while there are people that make a lot more in this demographic, there are people that make a lot less, which is what's pulling that median down to 33,000, okay, for the Hispanic ladies. Now for Black women, it's 34,600 for 30 to 39 years of age and $41,900. And this is Black, not Hispanic, let me be clear. $41,900. That's not enough to do a damn thing with. And there's a lot of pressure on women that are in those demographics to look like we have it, even though we don't. So that's what keeps the poverty going. Because don't be confused. Just because you make $100,000, if you're spending $100,000, you're kind of still in poverty. There's another term we got to make for it. But if you're breaking even, baby, you in poverty. Because that means you're one car emergency or health emergency or kid getting sick, one emergency room visit away from being broke, even though you make $100,000. Look at that chart again. So I love, I'm a Black woman myself, but y'all, we not doing so good. We're just a smidge above the Hispanic woman. But here's the thing that the Hispanic woman has that the Black woman doesn't. The Hispanic woman still has, oh God, how do I say this? Oh my Lord, it's a credit channel. The Hispanic woman is still taught that get your degree, but family still matters, mija. Community still matters, mija. Don't go into that job acting like you don't know those people. Don't go into that job. Don't do that, mija. Because you're going in there to have that job for 5 years, 10 years, however long. But mija, build your community outside of that, mija. We're not told the same thing as Black women. I'm sorry. And I didn't even include the Caucasians in there because, I mean, that's just general population. Facts on cortisol. Thank you for that, Dave. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going. Sorry. Having it just sit in the bank, dead money. Exactly. Having your money sit in the bank is the most goofy thing. Because here's my thing too. If y'all don't file your taxes, if y'all default on something, keeping that money in the bank, do you know that's the first thing that the IRS is going to go for? They're going to put a levy on your bank account. So having that money in there is dead to you, but it's going to become alive to somebody else. You need to pull some of that money out and have it go into other places. Now where you put it is up to you. Okay, but that money don't work for nobody but the bank when it's sitting in there. I'm sure even Diamond Dave knows that one. All right, so everybody's saying good afternoon. We've got to take intricate care of ourselves for exactly, and it's tough, Mentor Shelley. It's tough because you and I had that conversation. Like I was scared last week. Like I literally was sitting here for a minute, like, oh my God, it's finally happened. The last 2-3 years of my life has finally caught up with my health. I bought a little heart blood pressure monitor and all kind of stuff, y'all, because I'm not playing. I can't be playing with my health. Look, especially since some of y'all think you're going to live alone for all this time. You better take care of your health, millennial woman. All right. Try getting at least one massage. Oh my God, so true. And it's so funny you say that, Dave, because the last few times that I've gotten one, y'all might not notice because if you don't do the self-care thing, the first time you do it, you'll start to see what's happening. I just told you guys I store everything inside. But I think as a woman, that's just how we are. When I got a massage the last time, there were so many little knots in my back that I asked the masseuse, I was like, wait, does that mean like, is that a buildup of something? What the hell is that? And she's like, no, that's just stress. So you guys know every time you have a stressful thought or every time you're just overwhelmed by something. So some of you are so used to having that feeling every day as millennial women. And believe me, millennial men feel it too. I'm going to have a live stream about that another day. But millennial women, when you wake up going into a job that you hate, or you're even partnered up with somebody that you don't like very much, and you're not willing to admit it to yourself that it's not going to work out. Maybe you have a bad relationship with your parent, your family. Maybe you're estranged. Every time you have a negative thought or you have a woe is me moment, that stores inside your body as extra weight. Your weight is a lot of stuff you're holding on to. A lot of sleepless nights from that crazy boyfriend or husband. That's where that 5 extra pounds came from. It's the thoughts and all the emotion you're holding on to, right? Those knots in my back, that was from all the stress that I've been through the last maybe 6-7 months. How would I know that I was storing stress in my back in knots unless a masseuse got back there and rubbed it out? Pause. But you know what I'm saying. Would have never known I had these little pockets of stress in my back. The first time I got a hand massage, almost passed out. It felt so good. I didn't know I was storing so much tension in my wrist and my hands. Millennial woman, you are working so hard and never stopping. Sleeping in the bed is not enough. Drinking a bottle of wine is not enough. That's making it worse, millennial woman. That's why we're so sick, busted, and disgusted behind the scenes, because we put up a good front. But that's why. Makes me emotional because I know so many of you are doing it. You're doing these external things and the tension and the stress is building up. Dare I say, the cuter the wig, the more stressed out she is. The flatter the edges, the more stressed out that sister probably is, okay? Because y'all, when we stress, some of us, we fall off, but some of us start looking good when we get stressed. But I would have never known I had those knots in my back. And I realized at that time, oh, I store everything. I am not a person that, I can't let it out. I store everything. Okay, and you do too. I know you guys do. Okay, this stress we have is not normal. It's not. It's too much pressure. That's what Gen Xers taught us well, to be career focused first. Yeah, career focused. Never mind the things that perpetuate or create a happy life. Never mind that. But the concrete building you walk into every day, that is your happiness, millennial woman and Gen Xer. Okay? I wasn't giving any social advice. We never are. Cherie talked about it over at Black Women Making Money. We are told to go to school, keep our head down, don't even date. Don't even think about marriage. Don't even think about none of that. Don't think about any of that because you are self-sufficient, young lady, and you can take care of yourself. Well, how about this? You don't have to be with anybody, but if you partner up, imagine being able to go home every night And there's a person sitting there that's willing to hear how sucky your day was and just let you vent. And then you return the favor to that person. Your dog cannot do that. Yes, your dog can keep you company. Fudge. Yes. I loved my dog when I had my dog, but my dog was not the same. He couldn't talk back. All he could do was sit there and look at me sideways. And then I realized I still had to support him too. I can come home every day talking about this job that I hate, but the damn dog, he relies on me too. I'd rather have somebody there that I could talk to. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because, I mean, that's a big part that a lot of us are missing. I believe our families don't tell us the truth because they're afraid that it's too much. Yeah, and they don't want to admit, like, that they're having issues too. Because that's a lot of the reason that a lot of baby boomer mothers, especially single mothers, the reason that they don't tell their daughters that it's lonely, that it sucks, that sometimes your kid was the only thing that kept you motivated. While I honor that, I think that it's great that your children keep you motivated, but your life in and of itself should keep you motivated. A lot of us grew up with parents, mothers that sorry, but they didn't take care of themselves because they were so busy taking care of us. So your mother's not going to admit that it was painful raising you as a single mother. She's not going to admit that. She's not going to tell the truth of her experience. But that's a her thing. That's a her thing. Right? And without saying too much, I tell my mom all the time now, because I'm not going to let my mother leave this earth without me knowing, hey mom, I'm this age right now. Is this how you felt at my age? Because I don't even have kids and I'm working my ass off, mom. I'm so tired. And she says, it's just something I knew that I had to do. And she says, was it easy? No. Was I happy? No. She said, but I had to do it. Well, gosh, that would have been nice for me to hear when I was 20, because I would have done some things differently. But a lot of y'all's mamas aren't ready to face what they felt. They're not ready to face it. And some of them do it because they want to spare your feelings. They don't want to tell you that you're part of the reason that they were kind of upset all the time, because they created you. That's what they signed up for. So, they shouldn't say that to you. But that's the issue. A lot of us are having these problems now, and you can't even rely on your parents because they're not honest with you. Right? Oh, okay. So yeah, you did a video on that girl, but have you seen her YouTube channel? I had no clue this girl is still kicking. It's like nothing ever happened. And people are looking at her content. They're taking her advice. They're still signing up for her products and services. But, well, Dave, I ain't going to put you in this category, but I'm over here fighting for my life. Okay, I appreciate every client that I get, but I'm over here fighting for my life, giving y'all valid information. But then there's somebody that literally got arrested on camera and they got 100,000 subscribers. And we talking about a federal case. I've already accepted that we're living in the inverse. I've accepted it. I've accepted that straight to the point information, y'all don't appreciate it. And I'm not saying y'all, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. Because why is it that... Anyway, credit repair always makes money. Yeah, it does. Because as long as credit is necessary in the world, it's gonna make money. But at the beginning, my thing was just fix credit without really having a plan for the person. And then the more clients I took on, I started to say, my God, it's not about your credit score being low. It's about you have a spending issue. You have an income issue. You have so much more. You should not have come to me first as a credit repair specialist. You should not have come to me first. You should have first gotten a therapist. You should have then gotten a financial coach. And then I am a supplement to your financial coach. So I've decided, because I got so many clients like that I have to segue my service into that first and foremost. And yes, I will still fix your credit, for sure, because you need that good credit score, but you also need to build that. When I come on and tell y'all to monitor your credit, okay, you don't want to pay the fee. It's $31 a month to monitor your FICO score. FICO, I didn't say Vantage, FICO. That is something that you need to monitor because you need to know what lenders are saying about you. That is your report card. That is literally that's what it is. It's a transcript, it's a resume. Mentor Shelly in the house. Your credit report is a resume, millennial woman. And if all that you have to show for on your credit report is a damn student loan and a couple of evictions and some collections, baby, that resume ain't looking too good. You, dare I say, might be stuck in your employer because you can't work anywhere else because of your credit resume, okay? But that's what I saw. I was like, oh my gosh, so many of these women, and don't get me wrong, y'all, 70% of my client base is men because men are ready to get it done. See, millennial women, we kind of like to sit and ponder. And a lot of us like to think that, you know, we're doing the right thing. We're at the right job. We have the right degree. We have the right training. You know, nobody can tell us nothing. Nobody can tell us nothing. The men, as quiet as is kept behind the scenes, and they're trying to get it done. And I'm going to tell you millennial women something else. A lot of these men want to get their money right so they can improve the quality of woman that they attract. I've had some that were honest enough with me to tell me that. I've also had Gen X men and baby boomer men come on, and they're in debt because they were trying to take care of their family. They're on a phone call with me as a secret. Their wives sometimes don't even know that they've booked me. I'm like, why are you talking to me in the back house? What's going on? Oh, my wife doesn't know that I'm trying to fix everything. She doesn't know how bad this really is, and I just need to fix it. The key thing that I listen to there, number one, they're not communicating with their family, but they should. But that's a hard conversation, I guess, for people, because we know money is the number one reason for divorce. Not because you don't make enough, it's because there's too many secrets about money. But they're on the phone with me or on the video call because we talk just like we're talking right now. So if you think I'm real here, I'm real as hell during a consultation. So if you need it, come through. The men need that realness. They take it, they accept it. The women, y'all are always a little skeptical when I talk to you during consultations. How are you going to be skeptical after you've already paid me? You know where the skepticism comes from? It comes from you being pressured through your entire life to have all the answers, to do things right, to go to school, to get the career. So you subconsciously know that advice didn't work for you. That's why you're on the phone with me. But because you've developed that skeptical muscle, so it's so strong now, you still don't even trust the advice I'm giving you. You're still skeptical because you think you have the right answer. And I'm here to tell you, calling me or booking the call, that's the first step. Yes, you are now headed in the right direction, but you have to do the thing that we tell you to do. Right? If I tell you, babe, stop buying the $1,500 wig, stop it. Because unless you're in entertainment, I don't see why that's a factor. We can work it out. We could get you looking good a little bit cheaper. But you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. Right? If I say, hey, self-care is important, but maybe instead of traveling to Italy and breaking the bank and pulling it out of savings that you're not reinvesting, by the way, instead of doing that, do what Diamond Dave just told me a couple of comments ago. Go get a massage, because once you massage all those little stress nodules out of your back, girl, you're gonna feel like a new person. You're gonna feel like you went on vacation, millennial woman. You don't want to hear that because you want to get the picture to put on Instagram with your feet in the white sand, with your white pedicure and the blue water. You want to do that. You want to get the social payoff instead of focusing on the body first, finances, all getting everything in getting everything lined up, getting everything lined up. We are some of the most hard-headed women. There is nothing more hard-headed than a millennial woman. And I love us because I am us. I am a millennial woman, and that's how I know we hard-headed. I know it. You know? And some of y'all probably thought I was gonna sit here and diss the hell out of us. This is not a diss. This is just me literally saying this is what I recognize in myself, and I recognize it in my clients. I recognize it in my friends. It's like we have been brainwashed so well. Like whoever's in charge of the brainwashing campaign for the millennial woman, you've done a great job. You have successfully made a generation of women think that they are going to be okay, self-sufficient with one job and a doctorate. You've done it. Whoever did that. And I ain't even gonna talk about the number you did on the community that looks like me. They got us the best. They got us, oh, so hardcore. Ooh, they got us good. But I'm trying to break that cycle. That's why I got to start another channel, because I can't be talking about this on the Credit Solutionist channel. Okay. This type of people proves that hard work does pay off if you're willing to do it. Yes, hard work does pay off. Because like I said, even in my family, all the people that do the government work, there's like a rumor that government workers don't work. Okay, say what you will, but until you sit in the seat and until you can just, how about this? If y'all don't work that hard, give up the job. If government workers don't work that hard, give it up. Let us hard workers take your place. You working, you doing something. You going in there being social, you going in there ducking and dodging, you working somehow. You giving up some kind of capital. Mentally, physically, something. There are not that many jobs that are that cushy, y'all. Please don't believe that hype. Please don't believe that hype. You have to work hard. My mother worked hard. Hard. And like I said, I will not let her leave this earth without her knowing that every chance I get. Because for whatever reason, she didn't think that we thought that. And I said, no, woman, I watched you. You worked hard. And now I appreciate it because I work hard. I don't even have kids. So I cannot imagine what a single mother goes through. So millennial woman, stop it. I understand. We think, well, let me be quiet. I'm done with that. Being married to the right person. That's it. Ain't nobody saying get married. I'm saying get married to the right person. A lot of people jump the gun. But can I tell y'all a secret? Men know they're going to marry you in the first 6 months. So if you are in a relationship that has lasted longer than that, longer than a year, longer than 3 years, and y'all have never talked about marriage, or he'll marry you, sure. But were you his first choice? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I stand on it. I said what I said. I stand on it because I've been doing market research, and we'll talk about it once it's all done. I talk to multiple men on a daily basis, and these are men from all walks of life. And when the subject of their relationship comes up, they talk about the person in the context of a girlfriend. And I say to them, hey, with this girlfriend, is this our future wife that we're talking about? Who is this woman? There's a stark difference between the man that does not want that woman and the man that does. When I talk to the ones that do want the woman, they just start smiling. As soon as I say, is this our future wife? Because they couldn't tell that I could tell. And I say, when did you know? Oh man, I knew like 3 months. I knew 3 months in. I knew 6 months in. But man, I can't tell her. I can't tell her yet. I had a guy the other day look me square in my face and say, I couldn't explain it. He said, but they were just friends. Him and the girl were just friends. He said, I got in the car with her and she was just taking me somewhere real quick to drop me off. And he said, I got the weirdest feeling in my chest that was my wife. And he's like, he said, I dismissed it. I don't even know where that came from. He said, so I just let it go. 5 years later, he's married to her because they started dating. So men know, millennial woman. So you're not going to trick me with that. You're not going to come play me talking about, oh, I don't know. Oh, he don't know. Oh, marriage is a piece of paper. Okay. Anyway, moving on. They know in 6 months. Glad to catch 15 minutes of a live. Hey, girl. Anytime I can do a midday stream, I will. But I'm going to get off of here pretty soon because I did 2 hours today and I was only supposed to do an hour. Samry Bliss, being married to the right person is a competitive advantage of this market. Exactly. Because I'm so tired of people acting like marriage is not a business transaction, because it is. It is. Credit Solutionist is not going to lie to you. I'm not telling y'all to marry for love and that's it. Of course you're going to love the person. That's baked into it. Are you dumb? That's like something you don't even have to say. Duh, you're getting married. Love is incorporated in there. And if you don't love them, you better do what Luther Vandross said. He said, love the one you with. You better. Because marriage is about more than just the relationship aspect of, oh, I love him, he loves me, he's 6 feet tall and all the women looking at him and blah, 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 blah. I would rather have the guy that's a good person, has a good heart, puts up with my crap, can pull me off the ledge when I'm going too far, and I can do that for him because we both complement each other on my weaknesses or his strengths and vice versa. We help each other see the forest for the trees, actually, instead of not seeing the forest for the trees. You want a person like that because that is a financial decision as well. I also know a group of women that have absolutely married the wrong person, and they've settled. And they've settled into it so much so that now they're having kids with this person, knowing in their gut that it's not the right person. That I don't promote. But marriage is a business contract. You are dumb if you don't think otherwise. You're marrying money together. You're marrying and merging families together. You're creating a societal structure, for one. And if you have children, you are now, creating these little humans that are going to go out into the world, and who knows what contribution they're going to make to society. So it is a business transaction. And if you're married, millennial woman, and neither of you has life insurance, you're slipping. If you're married and you're renting, hey, if that's a temporary thing, fantastic. But why are you married if you're not going to be building assets? Married men tend to make more. Okay? Married women maybe will not have the opportunity to always sit down, because I understand in this economy women have to work. But millennial woman, if you are of the mindset to get married or partnered up, even if you want to do a domestic partnership, you have now created a business, okay, with that other person. I don't make the rules. Your government made that rule, because now you're going to be taxed differently. Dare I say, if you're religious, your God made that rule. You get married so you can build, so you can excel. You don't get married just to take a person off the market for vanity. You get married because two are better than one. Because I know a lot of single married people, and to me, you're doing it wrong. Some of my clients are single married people, and I'm like, wow, how does your partner not know this is happening? How does your partner not know that you're about to go broke? Right? How? That's a business. Hey. Thank you, Rambling Ray. I'm a rambling Langford today. Y'all know I talk a lot. And thank you guys for hanging out. But thank you. We have you're the show co-sponsor. Mrs. Phoenix was the sponsor because she did $20. Now, if anybody can beat Mrs. Phoenix, because Mrs. Phoenix over here balling, okay? Let me remind you. $20, okay? Matter of fact, what am I doing, y'all? I'm sorry. I got too far into what I was talking about. Let me give you your flowers, Mrs. Phoenix. I apologize. I should have hit you earlier. Okay? But that one, that's for you, Mrs. Phoenix, and that's for you, Rambling Ray. Thank you. Okay, so let's keep going here. I want to get through y'all's comments, and then I talked about the health of millennial women, and I know some of you are not believing me. I'm gonna go until 2.5 hours, and then I'm getting the hell out of here. Okay, so I gotta run through all this stuff because I'm getting through all my stuff. Okay. You said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even read it. Sorry. New here, but loving your content so far, I think is what you're saying. Thank you so much. Y'all see that he was typing so fast? He or she was typing so fast to give me my money. Because when you hear good content, you pay the lady, okay? But I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and being new and hanging out. I appreciate it. I started doing weight training with my husband, and it keeps my body from getting stiff. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, I can already feel it. Like right here, when I get up, I'm gonna be like, oh, like I know I'm gonna do one of those, okay? Oh, but there's a content creator named Tanya TKO, and she actually does a physical movement break during her live streams, and I think that's so smart. It's a good reminder. So, and strength training is amazing because as we get older, I don't know if you all know this, but like if you're an asthmatic, for example, the medications that we take as asthmatics, because I'm an asthmatic, like I'm a lifelong asthma sufferer, and we will develop osteoporosis. Like we have more of a chance because of the medication that we have to take. So it would behoove us to do a lot of cardio, anything that helps cardiovascularly, right? We have to. It's not a matter of do I want to, it's that I have to. I shouldn't have been as winded as I was walking up that hill, right? Last night, but I'm carting a lot of weight on me and my body's like, yo, what are you doing, sis? But yeah, weight training, that'll also take a lot of body fat off of you really quickly. That I know for sure. And I'm sure Diamond Dave can attest to that too, because I know he works out quite a bit. I've seen her channel on the gram. Isn't there a huge case backload in the prosecuting state? Yeah, because I think she's in Texas. So I think something is going to happen, but she was already arrested. So my only question is, if she was arrested and let's just say her case is pending, why is she still allowed to practice credit repair? If part of her case is filing police reports, falsifying police reports for credit repair. She shouldn't be doing this as publicly as she is. And notice, y'all, I haven't said her name because I don't want that smoke. Because I don't know who she knows. Maybe she knows somebody in the legal system that is going to get her off, right? But I just find it interesting that she's still over there promoting that product, which is the very product that she was in the news for being a scammer. It's crazy. But maybe because people, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. The stuff we put in our hair also adds to the, yes. Oh my God. Yes. And that blood pressure thing is no joke because so many women, like I said, I'm all for the girlies posting content. I love it, but there's only so many times that I'm going to let you trick me. If every time you post food, it's some indulgent, butter laced, has some kind of honey glaze all over it, and mukbang, oh my God, don't get me started, millennial woman. Stop with the mukbang. That shit is nasty. That's nasty. But we're so indulgent as a society, and millennials in general. I mean, we want to eat everything, drink everything, smoke everything, snort everything, pop everything. We are a generation of people. Really think about this. And I saw you, Trey. I know it's funny, but it's like, we really indulge in so much. But the reason that we're indulging, particularly the millennial woman, is to cessate the negative feelings that we have. Because think about it, when we were kids, going to McDonald's, that was like a once every couple of weeks things that we did as kids. Now it's like you go to McDonald's and it ain't nothing. That's not considered special anymore. So the scale has definitely tilted to now you have to go to the fancy restaurant, the expensive restaurant, to prove that you are somebody. Because some of that food's not even that good. Like, it's not that tasty, you know, but you want to use it as a status symbol. I mean, none of us are so rich, even me, like, none of us are that, like, doing that well that we should be spending so much money on something that's going to come out of the poop chute. It's literally just coming in and going right out. Coming in, going right out. Like, not even 12 hours later. Or if you're eating steak, it's probably still in your gut from like a month ago, just so y'all know. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the things that we're spending money on are so insignificant, and we haven't built the nest egg yet. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the nest egg, you shouldn't be doing that stuff regularly. You should not be going out like that regularly and indulging. And food delivery is a big one too. Y'all think that you're supposed to be eating burgers and, you know, all that stuff every day. You're not. You are trying to literally, I hate to say it, but it's a drug. It's a drug. And you're doing it to not feel so bad. So I know y'all dropping off because that was too deep. I know. But we need our own institutions to deal with our issues. We got ARNA, IPA, and the Afro-descendant nation. Listen, Trey, it depends on how deep into it that a person wants to get, because you have to remember, as millennials, particularly millennial women, though we experience a feeling of otherness, the truth is we are a part of society. Even though we feel other, we're here. But the problem is that we want to fit into mainstream society so bad. When we are there, we don't like being treated equally. Like, we don't like when people dismiss us. Well, people dismiss everybody. You know, we get certain treatment and we think it's weird or whatever. Sometimes it is. Yes, there are microaggressions, they exist. But I agree with you that we do need some groups. But the problem with most of our groups is that they're led by other people. Okay? I have a book on my bookshelf back here called The Jewish Phenomenon. And I've talked about that on past live streams. All I'm going to say is read the book. In the first 2 chapters, the author literally breaks down with that. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. I don't want anybody saying anything in my comments. But it talks about how this specific group of people is able to run the world, essentially. In the first 2 chapters, he talks about it. And a lot of it is community. A lot of it is keeping it within your own group. Sadly, certain groups don't want to do that because they want to integrate into other groups and mix and mingle and do whatever we do. But I'm of the belief that you love who you love, and your own economy and your family starts first, right? Then you branch out to the community, but it starts at home. So I know I said a lot without saying a lot, but the issue that a lot of certain groups have in this country, one that I belong to, is that they want to integrate into other people's groups. They want to leave this group, and they're leaving in droves. And I see it every day. Even though I live in the South, I have never seen so many people that look like me itching to be with people that don't look like me. That's all I'm going to say, because it's a credit channel. And no, your credit score does not go up just because you're divesting. Sorry, sis. Your credit score is still your credit score. And it's still your credit score too, brother, if you go somewhere. So miss me with that. Miss me with that. I would save that conversation for one of our night chats that we have, y'all, because y'all not ready for that conversation. Those people go through microaggressions too. Please don't believe it's all sweet across on the other side. Not like they try to make it seem like on the internet. No. So if that's the reason that people are leaving our group, that's sad. Don't let that be the only reason that you leave. Okay? But yeah, I do believe we should have We should have our own groups. So it says nobody will fix our issues but us. Yes, because nobody should know about our issues but us. And in this book, the author talks about how this specific group of people, and remember, guys, the book is called The Jewish Phenomenon. He talks about how they don't let people in on their issues. If they need more doctors in their group, you know what they do? They go to school and become doctors. They pool the money together to make sure so and so can get to school. That's what they do. If they want a school that is just them, they put pressure on their local government to get it done. They don't take what their local government gives them and just accept it and then jump on social media and complain about the quality of the school lunch. This group doesn't do that. They create their own communities. They have their own busing systems in the middle of your major metropolitan cities. You just don't see it because you're oblivious. You don't care. But as Cherie talked about, having your multicultural network, if you had one, you'd see it. You'd see it. I didn't even know that that group exists in the city that I live in. Didn't even know because I don't see them anywhere. But they're all around. You literally just have to stop and look. And it's like, oh, snap. They run this whole block. Wait a minute. Have y'all ever been? I want you guys to go down like La Brea in Los Angeles, like near Hollywood. Just go down that area. You'll see what I'm talking about. Entire areas blocked off. Maxine Waters lives in one of them. Not sure how she got in there, but yeah, you guys will see it. Like, that's the thing. It's not just about being around people that share the same phenotype. It's about being around people that have the same goals and aspirations. So I'm speaking to millennial women in this live stream because I believe as millennial women, particularly millennial women of color, we have been told to be solo on our dolo. So if you are only thinking about yourself, the community's never going to grow. The community's never going to prosper. It's just not. You can't do anything by yourself. You can't. Credit Solutionist is telling you that. Why do you think Mentor Shelley and I get on live streams for the last few Fridays? Yes, we're friends, but we understand that sometimes having a conversation together so y'all could see, hey, we're moving, we're shaking, we're trying to, get things off the ground over here. We're trying new business ideas, and you should too, because community is the best. We are actively growing our social network by doing that with each other. There's a reason. It's not always just, oh, I paid this person to come onto my show. No, it's to demonstrate to you, millennial woman, that you need a network. You need a community of people, right? You need that. Because I don't want you to go alone. I don't want you to go at all this alone. If you want to be alone, that is okay. But set your life up to where you can coast into your 50s and 60s and 70s, because you're going to get sick, as I said. Okay, so the article here, and we're going to wrap up. Actually, Trey, I'll get to the bottom of the comments, then we'll start. I got you. I'm kind of getting a sense of how you roll. We should probably have a conversation. We've seen it done before in the 60s and 70s, but that's a topic for another. It is, because they try to act like the Black Panthers were these crazy anarchists. That's not what it was. Not what it was. Not what it was. They literally started out as like a food program for the community. Come on now. How did they end up being considered militant? Please. Miss me with that. Okay? They choose who they want to demonize. We'll say that, because I've seen a whole lot of people carry a whole lot of firearms and they are not vilified like they were, like the Black Panthers were. So anyway, back to the article. Let me see here. And we're going to close out, y'all. I did not come on here to talk this long. All right, hold on. Because I'm not just making up this health thing at all. Not making it up. Not making it up. Let's put this on full screen. There we go. Okay, that's as big as I can get it. Okay, so why are so many millennial women unhealthy? This is from Blue at Work. So this is like Blue Cross Blue Shield. So this is literally the insurance company telling you that you're not healthy. Cuz you're not, you know? Y'all, we out here dying for these jobs. That's insane. So it says the millennial generation is a remarkable one. Born between 1981 and 1996, millennials have witnessed the rise of the internet and the digital age. They still went to college, even though for many it meant shouldering decades of student debt after they graduated. They had to endure two major economic recessions during which they lost wages and experienced lower earnings overall that have delayed significant milestones like buying a home or having children. Weren't we just talking about that? So many of you think that that was your choice. That's so funny. So many women really think that was their choice. No, a lot of us have been worked to death to where we're disenfranchised. We're disenchanted by the whole idea. It makes you tired. Okay. So it says here, despite these challenges, they're now the largest generation in the U.S. workforce. I think Sam asked an hour ago, why is it that we were told to work? I just answered it. We're the largest generation in the U.S. working force. Come on, guys. And we're poised to be 75% of the workforce by 2025. You guys do know that 2025 is 3 months away. That's why we were pushed to be independent women, so we could push the product, make people rich. So it should come as no surprise that their health has everyone, particularly their employers, concerned, because remember, you cost more to your employer if you're not healthy. In 2019, the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association released a startling look at how unhealthy millennials have truly become. It says 83% of millennials consider themselves to be in good or excellent health, but our health begins to decline after the age of 27. And millennial women are 20% less healthy than their male counterparts, which is specifically driven by cases of major depression, type 2 diabetes, and endocrine conditions. See, this whole time, you guys probably thought I was just being a hard ass and that I was making it up. This is from the insurance company. Okay? What's going on with millennial women? In a nutshell, stress. We just talked about the knots that I had in my back that I didn't know were there. Okay? The majority of millennial women are working more hours while often still being expected to carry the brunt of unpaid labor at home, like household responsibilities and childcare. With all the time they spend focusing on work and other responsibilities, preventative care like annual checkups, mental health care, regular exercise, and healthy eating are more likely to get pushed aside. Stress is also a key reason that women of all ages turn to unhealthy eating behaviors. What was I just talking about? Establishing healthy habits and ensuring regular preventative care is key for millennial women to keep themselves in good health as they get older. Only about half millennial women in the United States get at least 150 minutes of moderate or vigorous physical activity per week. Y'all, we are chained to these desks. It's no joke. Only 20% report eating 5 or more servings of fruit and vegetables per day. May I say, getting something from Smoothie King is not the same as eating an organic apple. It's not the same. Y'all, please stop buying these smoothies and thinking that that is healthy. It is not. I remember back home we used to have this thing called Jamba Juice, and everybody thought Jamba Juice was so healthy until we saw what it was made of. Y'all, Jamba Juice is dessert. Okay, it says 1 in 5 regularly engage in binge drinking. That's my wine girlies. That's my wine girlies. Again, a lot of what y'all are watching, when you see people post food pictures, the wine they're drinking, you're witnessing addiction sometimes, and you don't even know it. You're witnessing addiction, and they're wrapping it up in a beautiful package. You're witnessing addiction. This is the insurance company telling you what I know. Millennial women report having 4.9 days of poor mental health per month on average. 46.5% of young women are overweight or obese, which can slowly lead to a decline in physical health. In addition, WebMD, actually, we all use WebMD, right? It says WebMD reports that millennials are the only generation to prioritize emotional and financial well-being over physical well-being. So they're saying that we're worried about our brain more than our body. But here's the issue. Helping your brain doesn't help if you're drinking and going to happy hour a few days a week. Okay? I remember once thinking to myself, when I was indulging in something, I said to myself, it would be so cool if I could feel this without having to do this thing to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's something to think about, millennial woman. You should be able to relax and unwind without having to take a toke of something and without having to have a glass of wine. We should be able to be like to unwind naturally. Something to think about, millennial woman. All right. So it says a survey. Oh, here we go. So BCBSA says that millennials, out of millennials, only 68% of millennials have a primary care doctor. And then it says a survey from Harmony Healthcare IT reveals that 1 in 4 millennials have gone more than 5 years without an annual physical, and 73% seek medical advice online instead of seeing a doctor. Gosh. It says that millennial women in particular put off preventative care at a higher rate than men. But the internets will tell you something different, y'all. They'll tell you that the men aren't taking care of themselves. Men don't have as much stress as we do as women, y'all. They just don't, because men just kind of push through things. They do have stress. Let me not discredit that. They have stress. It's just a different kind of stress. So it says that women wait longer to get care when they're sick, and they're more likely to self-diagnose and treat problems at home. I know this because I see too many videos of women, even with your feminine, your intimate care. You should not be going on YouTube trying to figure out why you smell funny. You need to go to the doctor. I'm just saying, like, these are things we do. And I'm telling you, ladies, it contributes to our stress more and more and more. So again, don't take my word for it. I'm telling you straight up that millennial women, we are not doing well. We're not, There's a percentage of us that are, yes, and a percentage of us that are going to get that income, that wealth transfer. But that's not who they talking about here. They talking about me and you in this article, not the wealth transfer babies. Okay. So it says to help it, you can implement flexible schedules. This is what your employer could do, actually. I think that this, for one, is a great thing. But I think that the best way to get this is by starting a business. Your employer's not chomping at the bit to give you a flexible schedule. So wishful thinking. Prioritize preventative care. I know that a lot of employers do incentivize workers to go and get preventative care. So they'll say like, oh, you get $100 if you can show that you went and got a physical, blah, 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 blah. But the other reason they do that is for business, because you need to be utilizing the resources that they give you. Because if you don't, they're going to stop paying for such good medical care for you. So I would implore y'all to go ahead and do it. Get them physical checkups, y'all. Okay? And it says, the rest is just kind of some fluff here. Now, I'm just saying, I want you all to reduce this stress, millennial woman. And thank y'all for rocking with me this long. It's been a long time. I gotta go. Endocrine equals hormones. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And I know for me, it's got to be something in that arena. So, yep, we'll be going to the doctor to see what's going on, because I'm not going to die from stress. I'm sorry. In my business, work, none of that's going to be the death of me. No way. No way. Not worth it. Whenever I crave, yep, there you go. And like I said, we as women have 4.9 poor mental health days per month. Do you all know what else comes every month for women? You know, you don't have to say it in the chat, but us women have a monthly occurrence every month that, yeah, we're a little sad for a few days. And realistically speaking, you don't want to work when that's happening. You don't even want to move. You want to just sleep. The men don't understand, but it's like, yes, when that time of the month comes, we don't want to do anything. It's tiring, actually. Could you imagine? Imagine losing an ounce of that. Yeah, you're going to be a little woozy, a little moody, a little hungry, you know? But seriously, it's about really prioritizing ourselves, ladies. That's what it is. So, of course, we're not going to leave without telling you how you can alleviate some of this, because I want you all to be as successful as you possibly can, okay? So, the very first thing that I did when I realized that I was over it, over essentially somebody else telling me what to do, somebody else, telling me what time to be somewhere, because we're going to talk about that on another live stream. But when you really think about what a job is, that's somebody telling you where to be, what to do, who to be, how to dress, all that kind of stuff, right? That's what they doing essentially. So the way to alleviate that, millennial woman, is to start a small business. Now, you don't have to do my course, but I offer a course. Y'all need to go ahead and grab it. It's the Solutionist University Small Business Blueprint, from daydream to dollars in 30 days flat. No, my course is not cheap, but you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know when peace of mind had a price tag on it. My bad. But to learn how to start a business so you can eventually stop having to deal with other people, this is what you need to do. And there's a free preview. If you don't trust the process, that's okay. That's okay. But endocrine issues, hormonal issues, all that kind of stuff, if you can alleviate that for that price right there, and the price is going up, just so you guys know, but to get the step-by-step process to gain some semblance of financial freedom, autonomy, agency, and make extra money, because there's no ceiling when you become a business owner. Do y'all know that? Let me come on the screen real fast. Do you actually know that there's no ceiling? It used to be back in the day, like if you were a salesperson, that was kind of a job that was icky. But at the end of the day, if you have a business, you're selling a product or a service, the truth of the matter is, and this is from my millennial women, there is no ceiling on that. Your salary has a cap, though. Your salary does have a cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about that. It's so crazy. And hold on, I'll put it up here. I'll put it in the chat here. And see, that's something even I'm still learning how to do. Like, I'm still learning how to sell my services, because at the end of the day, people come to me from word of mouth. I'm gonna tell you the real hustle. People come to me from word of mouth, y'all. And a lot of times, like I said, thank God for the exposure that I got on that platform like years ago. And thank you to Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave invited me to be a speaker at his Get Some Skills or Take the Deal presentation that we did in Atlanta. So I traveled to go speak to his people. And I could tell you, the people in that room, they are not excited about going to a 9 to 5, because they're willing to put the work forward that has to be done. Them people, they had to wake up early to go to that Get Some Skills or Take the Deal, because I think we started at like 10 o'clock or something like that in the morning. They had to fly there. They had to get their clothes on. They had to drive over there, because I had never been to Atlanta in my life. But hey, but they sat in that room and they blessed me with their presence, and they listened to the expertise that I had. Right? You know how that happened? I took a chance on myself. I took a chance and started a small business, millennial woman and millennial man, because anybody can do this. That's the thing they don't tell you in school, is that anybody can do it, right? Because done is better than perfect. Yes, you need to research the industry you're going in. That's what we talk about in the small business blueprint. We talk about, yes, you need to do the research. No, you do not need to quit your 9 to 5. You need to be creating the business up under your 9 to 5's nose. That's what you need to be doing. I'm gonna tell y'all. Now, I didn't I didn't build my business while I was at my corporate job. Like, I didn't use their resources, but what I did was, I'll never forget. I started packing my desk just a little bit every day. I started putting little stuff in boxes, kept a little box under my desk. Every day I would grab a folder or two. I would grab a couple of my pens that I brought in. I would maybe take a picture down and I would take it home. As when I started my business and I knew I wasn't coming back, I started to slowly disconnect and pull myself out of that job, because I knew the day that I gave them my notice, I was gone. I didn't want to have that walk of shame with the box walking out of my office. Nope. Nope. I started packing my boxes slowly over a month. Nobody noticed. And I was out because I was over it. I was done. I was done. In a business, yes, you will go through, and this is to my millennial woman, yes, you will have that stress, but you'll have the freedom to sit on a live stream for 3 hours if you want, to talk about a thing that you want to talk about. You know, you'll get to experience what it's like to set your own prices. You know, sometimes your credit doesn't even matter until you want to get funding, of course, but we talk about that in the course as well. But that's what you need to do, because your average business owner right now, I want to say in the United States, the average small business owner, I think it said like $80,000 or something like that. And some of y'all are making 80 now and you're working your ass off for somebody else that's making billions. So yes, this is a commercial, and no, I'm not ashamed of it. And if y'all drop off, you drop off. But the people that need to know this information, they're going to know it. Okay. So the link is going to be in the description for the small business blueprint, because you can get your business up and running for, like I said, $149. And then you can hire a company to set up your business, or you can do it yourself through your Secretary of State. It literally takes less than 7 days to get yourself set up. And then you get the business bank account. That's easy. We talk about that in the course. To set up your virtual mailbox, because you do not want your home address online when you start your business. You have to decide, okay, I'm a business anyway, because going into your job, you are a business. You're a mini corporation going into a bigger corporation every day. So why are you not doing that in your life too, is my question, millennial woman. We've already established a certain population of us are not going to be receiving anything in this wealth transfer. We've also established that many of us, we will be going through the rest of our lives single. Many of us are not going to be healthy enough to even go into jobs, because you will be uninsurable because of your pre-existing conditions. You won't be able to get life insurance that you can pull loans out of because of your existing health conditions that you got from the stress of working for somebody else. That's what I'm saying to you right now, millennial woman. Okay? You cannot afford to not start your business. Okay? And not everybody will be able to do it right away. That's why this course is evergreen. And what that means is you can use it anytime, not just now. You can buy it now, and maybe you don't watch it until 2 months from now. That's okay. That's okay. Just use it. That's all we're asking. Use the damn course, because I'm tired of talking to people that are sick and tired when the answers are right here. And not everybody needs to do that. Some of you just need to fix your damn credit so you can get some leverage, So you could start building assets like a house, or maybe you want to start an Airbnb. I don't know, something. You know what I'm saying? You could sell gift baskets. I don't care what it is, sis, but you need to do something. Something that speaks to your heart. Pushing papers doesn't speak to to most of us. I know it doesn't. So that's all I'm getting at during this conversation. I didn't want to put anybody down or anything like that. Yes, I'm a little harsh in my approach, but I'm talking to the women that are getting to the end of their rope. And I'm letting you know, I'm reaching out and saying, hey, this is not all there is. That career is not all there is, homegirl. It's not. Now, if work is your thing, let it be your thing. But I'd be remiss to not mention that there is a way out. And there it is. That's the start, okay? That's about all I have for you guys. Definitely be sure to join the Facebook group. Let me see if I got my link here for that. Oh, and also if you want to speak with me directly, I mean, feel free. You know, you can definitely book a call over at mycreditcall.com. Again, like I said, I'm not cheap, and I'm not cheap because I don't have to be. That's the beauty of starting a small business. You kind of figure out how much money you need per month, how many, customers you need per month. And then you're able to work backwards from there. And that is what the course teaches you, how to work your way backwards. Okay? Everybody that y'all watch, because y'all are all in our sphere of influence, do you think Erica Williams started as a business owner? No, she did not. She tells you all the time in her videos where she started. She tells you that. She tells you she used to work in apartments. She tells you that she used to deliver pizzas in the hot Texas sun when she first moved to the state. But she did those things because she had a goal in mind. And now look at her. Look where she's at now. Diamond Dave tells y'all all the time he used to work in healthcare. Diamond Dave didn't come out just being a business owner, knowing stocks and options trading and all that. No. But he knew he didn't want to keep working. He knew he didn't want to keep working. He knew that. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say to you. So yeah, y'all probably don't want to hear an advertisement, but hey, this advertisement is going to save your life. I just read how unhealthy we are as millennial women. This is going to save your life. Your boss isn't going to save your life. I'm telling you what I know. I was just talking to Mentor Shelley about the fact that at a job, I was there 5 months. I made $90,000 in sales in 5 months. I should have been happy, but you know what? I was livid. And the reason I was livid was because I made this company $90,000 in 5 months. And no, it was not big ticket items. We're talking $100 to $150 maybe per person. 5 months I was able to do that. Do you know how much money you are generating for your boss's boss? Start your business. $90,000 in 5 months is nothing to sneeze at. Not for products that cost $50 bucks, $100 maybe. That got me. Even now, I'm just like, ooh, I probably got a new knot in my back. Just thinking about it. It irks me. So why not do it for myself is my question. That's the $1 million question. If I can pull 90,000 for them, why can I not do it for myself? Because I'm seeing maybe a quarter of that 90,000. Let's be real. Y'all ain't gonna admit what you make in the comments. And I don't expect you to. That's private. But y'all think about that. I made less money working for them for a full day than the sales that I brought in. Now that's some bullshit. I said it. So don't ever judge anybody that comes on here trying to sell you a way out. I don't have to give you that for free. You came to watch me, and someday I hope I'll be watching you. That's what I'm getting at. Okay? Start the damn business already. And for the love of God, please stop trying to get support from your friends and family. They are not your client. Your friends and family don't want you to know how much they make. So they're not going to tell you they got bad credit. Okay? That's why none of my friends have ever been my clients. They're not going to tell me how much money they make. They're not going to tell me that their credit sucks. Some people don't want to do that. That's not our relationship. It's not a financial relationship, right? They'd rather pay somebody that they don't know. And you have to figure out what service it is that you offer that people need right now, right? If you live in Florida right now, you should literally, I know you probably don't have HVAC experience or construction experience, all that kind of stuff. But didn't I say like an hour ago, if you're a millennial woman, what is stopping you from contacting, say, some kind of contractor out there? Because you know men don't like making phone calls and booking clients and stuff. Why don't you just create a company where you do that for them? They're going to need the help right now. In Florida, they always need the help in Texas. But you could literally just be an appointment setter. Start an appointment setting company, right? Hey, we can book these appointments for you. Charge per hour, charge per booking, charge per job. Just say, yo, I just need a 10% cut of every job, every appointment that we set, whatever the job is, give me 10%. You see how I just made that shit up? You see how I just made that up? Why can't you start a business and just do that? Why not? I just told you how to literally make 10% of what some contractor does out there in the field just by calling people that already want his service. Make yourself useful, millennial woman. It's not all about the office job. You can create a job. Just like I just told y'all, I was doing credit repair, yes, but I saw that there was a need for debt, budgeting, money allocation. I saw that there was an additional need for that. So what did I do? I created another branch of my business. I created that out of thin air. That's the secret. When you're in business, oh shoot, hang on guys, sorry. And I'm gonna wrap it up. Microsoft Edge keeps coming up and giving me all these errors. I don't even use Edge. But that's it. You can make up a job out of thin air because your job that you have now was made out of thin air. I bet you didn't know that. But that's it, guys. Just see the need and fill the need. The small business blueprint is the first step in that process. Okay. Thank you, Still Rocks. But if you guys want to talk about that any further, book the call. Book a consultation with me if you don't want to do the course. But the course itself is going to pretty much get you where you need to go. And then you can just email me if you have questions. Or book a consult if you have questions on the materials in the course. But yeah, mycreditcall.com. I think I have a link for business, credit, and debt. So whichever one of those is for you, just go ahead and book it because you can leave me a note and tell me what you want to talk about during the call. Documents need to be notarized. Thank you. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to come on another day this week and talk about certain businesses that people can go into because I'm actually going to do notary out here in Virginia. Fingerprinting is big too, you guys. Live scan, I was going to do that before I left California. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys about that. If I have time, maybe I'll come on tomorrow and we'll talk about it because I do want to show you guys it's not just about credit repair, but you have to fix your credit though to become a business owner. So sorry, guys. This is only one step of the process, the small business blueprint. That's like step 1.5, but you have to fix your credit. And the only way to know what your credit's like is you have to monitor your credit, right? So if you have something like Experian Boost, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not gonna hold you. That's cool. Um, but also I do offer credit monitoring to my clients too. And then you need to build credit too. So the business blueprint is one piece of it. The credit aspect is still attached to it as well. But notary is a great business. Yeah, and that's the thing. You guys need to be service based. You have to contribute. But the beauty is if you have a skill and you contribute, you can set your price. That's the thing I love about business. And I was talking to somebody the other day. She's like, "You're such a good sales lady." And I'm like, "Girl, when I get on YouTube, I can't tell." But in person, I didn't know I could do it until recently. And it's so natural to me now when I'm in person, I don't realize that I'm selling, until somebody called it out. She was like, "Wait, oh my God, you're such a good salesperson." And I'm like, "No, I'm just telling you that this is what you need and that you can take it or leave it," essentially, is what I said to her. I'm like, "No, you need this help. You need XYZ. So if today's not the day, then I want you to go home and say, okay, when? When am I going to answer the call? When am I going to become the most important asset in my life? When am I going to do that? Maybe today's not the day. Maybe you're not ready to give yourself that credit today. You might not be. And I understand that because I'm not always ready to give myself the credit that I need, right? Meaning the social currency. Sometimes you have to give social currency to yourself. It's about showing up. You guys showed up. We've been here for 3 hours. You guys know I like to talk. How dare I not become a consultant? Why would I not become a consultant? You guys just saw I got a $20 super chat and a $10 super chat, right? Now, if I divide that by the hour, I just talked for $10 an hour. But in the back end, if I do 5 consultations today at $250 a pop, you do the math. You do the math. I set that rate. I set that rate because I can. Right? And that's what you can start to do. So that's all I'm saying, millennial woman and millennial man. When are you going to decide that you are the most important person in your life? Because without you, the ship sinks. You're a valuable part of everything. Your job, your business, your family, you're valuable. And it's time that you start putting the correct price on your currency on the gift that you provide. You have to start that. It's all inside of you. You should never do anything for free unless it's charity or something. And even then you need to be networking. So no, my job is to sell you on yourself. I'm not selling you on me. I'm selling you on you. I'm selling you on you. You saw the title of this video that says millennial women are tired. Why'd you click on it? You clicked on it because either you wanted to see some mess, that was probably some of y'all, but for the most part, you resonate with what I'm talking about. You know you tired. You know you tired. And I just told you I'm tired too. But I'd rather be tired for me than for some other, I was about to cuss, than for some other organization. That's what I'll say. The price is the price. Thank you. That's going to be our next topic. The price is the price. When I worked at the bank, people that I went to school with will always ask whoever was directing people to be put with another banker. At first, I was taken aback, but I realized it was their preference. I mean, listen, stuff like that happens, That's all I'll say. I mean, whatever. It's different. And that's another thing too. When people come to you as a business owner, the beauty of it, if I may say so myself, people book with me because of me. Even though I don't believe I'm selling you on me, I don't in my heart of hearts, but I know that is partially why you book the call, because you want to talk to somebody that's going to give it to you straight. That is why you book it, right? So I get that on some level, So starting a business is a thing that you can do to be appreciated for who you are. what your skills and abilities are that you bring to the table. That's the whole purpose of starting your small business, right? You gotta rock with me on this, y'all. That's why you started. So use the skills from the office and contract it out. Exactly. Anyway, Trey, you own some good stuff, okay? I feel what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Anyway, I may or may not come back tomorrow. I don't know, because after I get up out this chair after sitting for 3 hours, who knows? I might get up and fall flat on my face. But I'm about to get up and go take a walk and go drink some water and continue on with my day and finish these edges, okay? Because I got time today. I got time today. And hopefully soon you guys will have time too to do these things and appreciate everything about yourself and bring things to the table, okay? That's my wish for all of you today as you tuned into this live stream. Thank you so much to everybody that came through. Everybody. I'm going to go to the top. Lord Grimm, my brother from another mother, you know, Mark Daly, Samry, Diamond Dave, as always, the man that gave me my first public speaking gig, forever grateful. Mentor Shelly, my sister from another mister. Mrs. Phoenix, who is the show sponsor. We got to give her props again. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for coming through. Just got to call out the rest of y'all. Trey Wilson, we said Samry already, and honestly, any of you guys that have showed up, because showing up for me today means that you are showing up for yourself. And that, my friends, is the most important thing. And thank you, Ramblin' Ray, for your contribution to the show as well. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up. I may or may not be back tomorrow. We gonna see, because your girl is tired. Before I go, be sure to download the 90-day Rapid Repair Mini ebook, because y'all, credit is real. And listen, can't be a business owner, can't get a good job, can't do any of that stuff without having an awesome credit score. Can't get that house. Can't get that good rate on that student loan. Millennial woman. So, if you're struggling, not really sure what to do, the links for the book should be in the description for the 90-day Rapid Repair Mini ebook. For a modest contribution, you could change the rest of your life. That's what started my journey. Fixed my credit. Next thing you knew, I had a business. Get the small business blueprint, links in the description. Okay? Hope to see you in class. Book your consultation, mycreditcall.com. I hope to see you there. All right, guys? We're here to make money, and we're here for a good time, not a long time. All right? So, with that being said, I am Victoria Langford, your credit solutionist, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. All right? Credit solutionist.